An opening day victory for the Firebirds, and here we are at Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth. Dennis, for today's Game 2 matchup. Scotty Gange, I'll be your host for today's BBN Bird's Eye View pregame show alongside broadcaster Josh White. Josh, welcome in. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's talk about last night for a sec.
Scotty, it was a great game last night for Orleans, and just the way that they had their pitching staff rolling from night one was incredible. Adam Seminaris out there on the mound, 5 shutout innings, just 2 hits allowed, didn't walk anyone, struck out 2, 54 pitches. What more can you ask from a pitcher? And then they got a little offense in that second inning too.
Right.
Josh Zamora, first Cape Cod League at bat, wasn't fazed by the big lights, crushed a 347-foot home run, and then the bullpen was great from there on out. Not too much offense to show for other than that. Rob Emery, the only multi-hit performance by a Firebird, but the pitching was great, the bats were there, the defense was there. Pretty much about as good of a baseball game as you can get in 2 hours and 5 minutes. Can't ask for much more.
You're right on that, and it was a very quick game, of course. You know, the pitching staff was dueling and dealing all game long. 5 innings, 4 Seminaris, like you said, and the relieving crew was just unstoppable last night.
Yeah, they were unstoppable. I think they had 4 innings of just 1 walk and like another 4 strikeouts for themselves. So that's as good as it's going to get. Orleans' first opening day victory since 2016, and they beat a good squad in Bourne that I know those were the 2 teams that finished last in 2018, but hey, new rosters, things change, and Orleans is in first place right now.
Of course, 1-0 on the season. You can't ask for much better than that, especially in a point-wise system like that. So Orleans got the 2 points last night. Let's talk about tonight. What can they do tonight against YD to get 2 more?
Obviously, YD is normally one of the better teams in the East, and so is Orleans. And if you look at last year, just the way that YD played Orleans, they really owned that series. They've won 5 consecutive games coming into tonight against the Firebirds. But I think if we see a very similar performance from Orleans tonight, strong pitching, timely hitting, should see the Birds come out on top. Kelly Nicholson has struggled at times figuring out the puzzle of Scott Pickler, but you can never count out Skip.
You really can't. And I know we're going to touch later in the show, the end of the show when Thomas Inzarel's on here. We're going to go on the pitching matchups, but I know Firebirds pitcher tonight, you know him very well. How about you shed some light on him?
Yeah, Andrew Abbott, a rising junior from the University of Virginia, second summer in Orleans. He was fantastic last year, a 1.74 ERA in 20 2/3 innings pitched. He was great at Virginia. He comes out of the bullpen for the Cavaliers, but he's a starter on the Cape. We'll probably see him for 3 or 4 starts this summer before going to Team USA to try out. He's a guy that sits fastball 91, 93, might touch 94, but it's the curveball that makes him such a dominant left-hander. 75-mile-an-hour curveball that just drops out of the zone. Going to keep hitters off balance all day long.
Much shorter fences here today. We might see some Firebirds home runs, and if we do, then you're going to hear this guy's voice right here. Josh White, Thomas Inzarella. Josh White, thanks so much for joining in.
Of course. Thanks, Scotty.
Let's have a great day, all right?
Absolutely.
My name is Zach Daniels. I play outfield, and a fun fact about me is I like Legos.
Welcome back into Bird's Eye View. Glad to have pitching coach Mr. Matt Troop and in studio, I guess our little outdoor studio here at Red Wilson Field. Coach, last night the story of the game was pitching and how phenomenal it was.
Yeah, oh no doubt. Adam was absolutely on point. I think I just crunched the numbers. Actually, he ended up 78% strike percentage. So he had command, like, I mean, to be quite honest with you, that I haven't seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
From the get-go too, from the first inning all the way through the 5th. So it was very fun to watch. After that, the 3 relievers that came in, same thing, followed suit, kept pounding the zone. We ended up with 1 walk on the whole game. So defense was always in it. Shout out to David, our catcher. He was stealing some strikes all game for us.
Oh, yeah.
So that was also fun to watch and gave our staff a lot of confidence. But yeah, no, they did outstanding.
Yeah, you mentioned David, and I talked to Adam last night after the game, and I heard in the bullpen before the game, he was kind of complimenting David. He was doing a good job spotting it up. It seems like he did that all night last night with Adam and then all the relievers as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's tough for our catchers, and then David, because they haven't caught these guys. I mean, when they're at school, they're catching their guys in bullpens and inner squads throughout the entire fall and season.
Only
and then
3 days to get ready.
Correct, yeah. If they're juniors, he's caught them for 3 years. So, so coming out here, it was just, we had a conversation. We all got together with Adam and David, and we got on the same page as far as, hey, what kind of looks does Adam want as far as setup? Like, hey, if you set up way in, my ball's going to, run back over. And yeah, David caught on real quick, and Adam was really juiced about it. And like I said, he controlled all the pitchers really well all game.
You know, there's so many pitchers on this year's staff, and I think probably on purpose, because last year the Firebirds kind of ran out of pitchers at the end of the season.
Right, you can never have too many pitchers.
How's the process for you on that, getting everybody their proper playing time, especially when a guy like Adam is dealing through 5 innings?
Yeah, I mean, especially early in the season, all these guys are juiced to get up there and get onto the mound. But from my point of view, I love having all these pitchers, right? Because you never run into that issue of, I mean, unfortunately in the past it's been issues where you have to start throwing position players, and luckily that shouldn't be knock on wood.
It's fun for the viewer.
It's fun for the viewer, and I'm sure for the position player, yes, no doubt. Yeah, but that won't be an issue as far as this summer goes. But yeah, I mean, it's really kind of it's chill for our guys because they'll know exactly when they're throwing. I mean, the way that we're setting this up, Adam, who just threw last night, he has a legit 7 days until his next start, so he can plan that routine, and routine is so big in a pitcher mindset to just know that you did everything that you needed to do up until that point that you step on the rubber and you're just ready to rock. Right. So, and then for our relievers, they know, hey, you throw tonight like Pram and Benoit and Miller last night. They'll know today they have off, so they get to do whatever they need to do to recoup and be ready for tomorrow. And then those relievers that didn't throw will be up today.
Saw Benoit in the gym today. He was just like, yeah, I'm not pitching tonight, so I'm doing some rehab.
That guy's an animal, man. he just towers. We have a staff out here that's.
We weren't putting up the same weight at all, by the way.
Oh, stop it! Come on, man. Give yourself some credit. I'm sure you're putting up some weight. But yeah, no, it's a very good. I wouldn't even call it a problem. So I was about to say it's a very good problem, but I love the fact that we have 16.
It's a luxury, it seems like.
It is. It really is, because I know some of these staffs out here are struggling right now, especially early when some guys are still playing, going to Omaha or haven't made it to the Cape quite yet. So we're really excited to see everybody out there, man. If Abbott today is dealing, it's like, okay, we got to get him 5 innings, and then we'll figure it out from there. But very, very excited about the number of pitchers that we have this year.
Yeah, and you've got to be excited for this year because you have been in their shoes before. You're a 2-year Firebirds pitcher, and now here you are, 6 years later as the Firebirds pitching coach. How cool is that for you?
I've been counting that down for so long. I've been bugging Kelly. The past couple summers that I've been coaching, since about 23 years old, it's been 3 years now. Every single right before summer, I'm like, hey, Skip, come on, baby, take me. I'm ready to coach. I'm ready to do whatever. And it just so happened that this year there was an opening, and I'm able to be back. It truly feels like a second home to me. I was here in 2012 and 13, so 2 summers. So, all the host families are the same. I get to see them, the GM, people running our housing department. So I'm very, very happy to be back. And yeah, it feels like home. It's beautiful out here.
I heard through the grapevine that you were called the mayor of Orleans while you were here.
Yeah, I was. I may have came up with that nickname on my own.
Self-inflicted nickname?
No.
It sounds good.
Yeah, I love it. But this, Orleans, the Cape as a whole does a very good job. I can't really speak on some of the other programs or some of the other teams out here, but Orleans does
Your heart is in Orleans.
Oh, dude, they do it right. They really make it feel like home. Kids coming from all over the country. They make it as easy as possible to just be able to come in here and do what all of these kids are trying to do, which is go to that next level.
Yeah.
Get drafted and have an opportunity to play minor league baseball. And I'm blessed to be able to have this opportunity and now be able to come back out here and coach and learn from these guys just as much as they're learning from me, man. If they take anything from me, I'm juiced, but I'm soaking up everything they're showing me as far as grips and all these different things, bouncing some ideas off each other. But I'm very happy to be back, as you can tell.
Yeah.
I haven't stopped smiling. I'm still running on some fumes as far as travel. I took the red eye last night, 2 nights ago, so my eyes might be a little bit bloodshot right now doing that, so I apologize to the viewers, but it's nice to be back.
Coach, congratulations. Welcome home.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Really do.
Of course.
Yes.
Hey, my name's Donovan Benoit. I'm a right-handed pitcher from Santa Fe Community College, and you're watching the Birds broadcast.
.174 ERA over 20 2/3 innings pitched. One of those lefties that, not necessarily a crafty lefty, he's going to rear it up there a little bit more, 90-93 sometimes on the gun. It's that curveball that makes him so hard to hit, though. Drops that breaker in about 75 miles an hour, and he's not the only ACC southpaw pitching today. You got Ian Seymour on the other side out of Virginia Tech, so a couple of lefties from the state of Virginia going to battle here at Red Wilson Field. Seymour, another southpaw, doesn't throw as hard as Abbott, but both under 4 ERAs in the Atlantic Coast Conference, something that's hard to do, and we'll see what both guys can get done today.
Yeah, definitely. We talk about Duke UNC being a big rivalry. Well, Virginia Tech is also a big rivalry in the state of Virginia, as another ACC guy will step up to the dish to lead things off on the left side. Jordan Lala, the center fielder out of Miami, will hold on to that lead of spot yesterday. A.J. Lewis batting second, playing second. Batting third, Max Troiani in the DH spot. Batting third, Zach Kokoska in the the cleanup spot, playing right. Josh Zamore batting fifth, playing short. Ray Gill, the sixth hole, playing third. Emery at first, batting seventh. Daniels in the left, batting eighth. And Avitia, the catcher, rounds out the bottom. So Seymour from the bump, from the windup, the first pitch, lefty-lefty matchup. Fastball runs low and away. And we're underway from Red Wilson Field. As Lala will tap his bat a couple times on home plate, as the Firebirds will don their red uniforms, the Orleans in the white lettering, as the 1-0 fastball runs up and out of the zone for ball two. Lala still searching for his first Cape League base hit. Yesterday went 0 for 4. A couple ground outs and a line out. The 2-0 from the windup once again. A fastball still not biting on the outside edge. Count runs 3-0. Seymour again out of Virginia Tech. Local kid out of Massachusetts, though, from Westboro, Mass. Went to St. John's High School, a prominent prep school in Mass, as the fastball finally catches the bottom part of the zone for strike one. 3 balls and 1 strike is the count on Lala. Delivery and the windup, 3-1 pitch. Lala was right on it, but just couldn't get enough as foul tipped it into the mid of Biagiani, the catcher today, the battery mate for the Red Sox. Wind blowing in just a bit from left center. Is the 3-2 once again. Lala spoils it and fouls off down the third base side.
Not the first 2 times these guys have faced each other either. Ian Seymour made a start against the Miami Hurricanes in Coral Gables. Went 7+ innings, struck out 11. Lala was one of them, 0 for 2 in the battle between Lala and Seymour during the regular season with a walk and a K.
The payoff pitch, the 3-2 from the windup. Lala skies it up in the air in the infield. It's in foul ground as tossing the masses. Biagiani heads towards the first base side and able to make the catch for out number 1. Tough in these swirling winds of Cape Cod. As again I mentioned, the wind blowing in from the left center. Biagiani moved quite a bit there from behind home plate over towards the first base side. So with 1 down here in the top of the first, nobody on, 1 out. A.J. Lewis, the second baseman out of Eastern Kentucky, will dig in from the right side. Once again from the windup as Lewis fouls the pitch up and out of play behind home plate. 14 games appeared in this year for the Hokies, when Seymour 13 games started. As the 0-1 pitch is dribbled foul towards the bleachers. Count is Cookie, no balls and 2 strikes. Lewis was able to reach base yesterday as he garnered one of these 7 hits for the Firebirds. 1 for 4 in yesterday's win, as the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses up and out of the zone. Able to bite is Lewis.
Thomas, you look up and down this Orleans lineup. Only 2 left-handed swingers. Those are the only 2 lefties Orleans has right now. It's almost beneficial they faced 2 lefties the first 2 days.
1-2 pitch, cut on and miss. Off speed as Lewis goes swinging, and Seymour picks up his first strikeout on the afternoon.
Yeah, good sharp slider from Seymour that worked from the left-handed batter's box right on the chalk and just cut right towards Lewis, and he couldn't get the wood on, and that's what Ian Seymour does. A little more than 80 strikeouts this season for the Hokies in 70 innings, and he's a guy that not necessarily going to rear it past you, but he'll pick up the occasional K.
As Max Troiani will step in from the right side, takes a first pitch ball on the fastball. Again in the 3-hole spot tonight, still in the DH slot. You mentioned Seymour, he had 81 punch-outs in 70 in the 3rd innings pitched. As the 1-0 pitch misses inside, count is 2 balls and no strikes. Hitter's only batting .258 this year off of Seymour with a 1.35 whip. As a 2-0 fastball misses above the letters, count runs 3-0. Again, nobody on. 2 outs here on the top of the first from Red Wilson Field. Still scoreless ball game here. As the 3-0 pitch just catches the knees as Triani was getting ready to toss the bat. But not so fast, says home plate umpire Tim Carey. Take a look around the umpiring crew. Jason Klump over at first, Doug Isham over at third, and Triani will take his base as a pitch misses down and in. And the Firebirds have their first base runner on this afternoon.
The right fielder.
As Triani works a 2-out walk.
Number 16, Zach.
And yesterday, Triani was able to get on with a single in the second inning. The very next batter had a 2-run shot. That was Josh Zamora. Kokoska didn't hit one yesterday, but came just a matter of feet from leaving the yard.
I needed pesky pull down there at Eldridge Park, and it would have been gone. Lefty-lefty matchup as Seymour worked from the stretch for the first time. His off-speed pitch misses down and out of the zone for ball 1 to Kokoska. That would have been a mammoth of a home run. That was heading towards the woods out there. Small bunch of trees out there in right field at Eldridge. As Triani takes a healthy lead at first. Seymour looks him back, kicks and deals as Kokoska pops the 1-0 pitch up. Out of play over towards the third base side. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike.
Thomas, you look up and down this Orleans lineup today, just the way it's constructed. The first 4 hitters for the Birds today, all temporary guys. And obviously it's only June 11th, still people playing in the College World Series, people returning from the Supers. So it's a very interesting lineup construction for the Birds today.
1-1 pitch from Seymour misses high. Triani stealing second, and he will as the throw goes wide right, and Triani will head towards third. He'll slide in, no throw. And the Firebirds have a runner in score position here. We're at 2 down as Triani able to steal a bag, and then it must have been an E2 going to go against Biani.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it's going to go down. Triani got a great jump, timed up Ian Seymour. Seymour knew he was even going, was staring right at him, but just had to release the ball out of the windup, and now a chance for Orleans to strike first once again.
A good pitch to throw on to a fastball up and out of the zone as the 2-1 pitch to Kokoska at the knees once again with the fastball. Count evens back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So runner on third here, 2 outs in the top of the first. Still scoreless game from Red Wilson Field as Kokoska tries to drive in the first run for the Birds today. From the stretch once again, 2-2 pitch, outside corner, strike 3 call. As Kokoska hops out of the box, and just like that, Seymour works his way out of the jam. So no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on for the Firebirds. As that is how the top half of the first will end. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Back inside Red Wilson Field for the home half of the first inning, as the Firebirds will send Andrew Abbott to the mound after Seymour works his way out of a jam. So the Firebirds left 1 on. And leading things off for the Red Sox is Wyatt Young, the second baseman. In the lineup tonight for the Red Sox. Again, YD 0-1 on the season. They dropped a game in Katuitt yesterday, a score of 4-3. But this is a YD organization that loves to win and does a lot of it. Had a three-peat of Cape League championships from 14 to 16. 2014 to 16, of course, as first pitch swinging is wide. Young fastball goes right by him for strike one. Again, Abbott made 5 starts in the Cape last year. The southpaw out of Virginia comes set for the windup, kicks and deals. That one fastball misses high above the letters for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. As Abbott looks into the battery of Avitia, who's back at the catcher position today, as the 1-1 pitch from Young, or too Young, is fouled back to the fence. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. On the left hit, hitting second baseman Wyatt Young. Some numbers last year for Abbott as well. 1.74 ERA on the Cape, 13 punch outs in 20 2/3. Looking for one here as the 1-2 pitch is popped up down the third baseline to foul ground. Giving a look is Gill, heading towards the seats. He made the catch, and fair play as well as Ray Gill chases that one down. And the Firebirds get a big out number 1 here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, welcome to the Orleans organization, Ray Gill. First time he's been in the lineup in the red for the Birds, and known more for his bat at Miami, but makes a heck of a play. Did not give up on the ball. Ran really to where that foul, not necessarily the foul line is, but the out-of-play line is near that YD bench, and was able to make the grab in play before going out of play.
It's almost like, Miami football, of course, as you well know. Big football, so obviously trying to catch it in with 2 hands in between before the line, I should say, is trying to catch those 2 feet in bounds. His first pitch fastball misses for ball 1. It is quite a interesting setup here in Red Wilson Field as the 1-0 pitch is cut on and missed by Andrew Eister, the right fielder, in the 2-hole. Just a white line going down from the dugout, down the way to the foul poles here. 1 ball and 1 strike on Andrew Eister. Nobody on, 1 out. As the 1-1 pitch is nailed out towards right field. Going back to the track, it's out of here. Andrew Eister puts the Red Sox on the board as he puts it over the tall right field fence as Kokoska was running back, but they ran out of room. And the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead over the Firebirds early.
Abbott just left that ball over the heart of the plate. Eister just hit it the other way, and you see him every time you come to Red Wilson Field. You're going to get an offensive output from one of the teams. Not large ballpark at all, just 352 to dead center. That one hit to the right side.
As Jack Wall, the first baseman, takes a hack at the first one and dribbles it down the first base line for strike 1. Again, center field, as you mentioned, alluded to, not real deep here, but going to have some real power to hit out towards right and left field. 1 pitch to Wall from the left side. He crushes it down on the ground to the first baseman Emery. Goes down and he takes it himself. And Wald is retired for out number 2.
And it seems like Abbott's really going to want that one back because he's gotten ahead consistently so far through the first 3 batters. It hasn't been strong contact besides that ball to Eister. And when you really think about any other ballpark on the Cape, that ball probably stays in the yard. It might go for extra base if it gets over Kokoska's head, but obviously not a round tripper.
So now a 2 down in the inning. Nobody on. Here in the bottom of the first. From the windup once again, off-speed pitch misses down below the knees to Riley Tirada, the third baseman. Again, YD holding a 1-0 lead after the home run from Eister. 1-0 deliveries popped up high in the air, wind blowing it in just a bit. Lala takes a couple steps back, camps under it, and will make the catch for the 3rd out. But not before YD strikes, as they are on the board first with they score 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on a base, and after 1, YD 1, Firebirds nothing. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Leading off the second
And we'll go
inning
back
for
inside
Orleans,
Red Wilson Field
the
for the
shortstop
away half
from
of the second
University of
inning.
Nevada at Reno.
As YD,
Number
after the
8,
home run from
Josh
Eister, takes a
Zamora.
1-0 lead. Zamora, Gill, and Emery, the three Firebirds hitters, due up in this top half of the second inning as Seymour looks to try to get a quick 1-2-3 inning here. Worked out of a jam after Troiani able to steal a bag and then an error. First pitch fastball misses above the letters on Zamora. Zamora, of course, 2-run home run that provided all the offense for the Firebirds yesterday. All they needed as they took a 2-0 lead over Borna. Zamora reaches out for that one, but fouls it out down the first base side. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike on Zamora. Again, out of the infielder out of Nevada, the Mountain West Conference. For the windup once again, the 1-1 pitch is chopped over to third. Tarani fields it on a hop, throws across the diamond in time, and Zamora is retired. As well, the little awkward position there, had to step behind the bag and catch that one on the foul side, but
University of Miami.
one is down in the inning.
44, Ray Gill.
So nobody on, one out here in the top of the second. It'll be the third baseman out of Miami, Ray Gill, who will kick some dirt around in the right-hander's batter's box. Lefty-righty matchup. As Seymour's first pitch misses high for ball 1. Again, Gill, 24 ABs in a Harwich Mariners uniform last summer, making his Orleans Firebirds debut. Lines out of right at the third baseman, Tarati. That's the hot corner down there as Gill put a good swing on that one, but right at the third baseman.
And Gill off to a good start in the Orleans Red, made that great catch in the bottom of that first, hit a hot shot, but like you mentioned, just right at Toronto, who was positioned perfectly off that third base line.
So now with quickly 2 outs in this top of the second, it will be the first baseman, Rob Emery. Again, went 2 for 3 yesterday in the victory. Off-speed pitch, bends in at the knees, but just misses for ball 1. Emery steps out for a second, takes a couple deep breaths. Working quickly is Seymour on the 1-0 off-speed. Emery puts it right back where it came from, lines it into center field for a base hit as it rolls to Costello. He'll throw it back in. And then once again, the Firebirds in back-to-back innings will have a base runner on with 2 outs.
He's got 3 hits now in his first 4 at-bats for Orleans, the lone bird with multiple hits last night in that 2-0 victory over Bourne. He's seen the ball really well so far. A smooth stroke, just hits it right back up the box. Went the other way a couple times last night. Not trying to do too much.
Yeah, sometimes all you need is a ground ball through the hole or something. As with 2 down in the inning, Emery off at first, working from the stretch once again is Seymour. With a runner on, lefty-righty matchup as the first pitch. Daniel C. chops it, fair territory, throwing off balance over to first base in time. Torada making all the plays in that inning.
The 2019
Got a lot of work down there as the Firebirds will once again leave a runner on a base. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on after 1.5. It's the YD Red Sox 1, Firebirds nothing. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. It's a 1-0 lead for the YD Red Sox as they'll head back to the offense attack once again. Abbott on for his second inning of work. It was the Andrew Eister home run that put him on the board. Wind once again blowing in from left center. As lefty-lefty matchup, Abbott spikes a first pitch fastball in the dirt to left fielder Austin Wells. Wells, the freshman out of Arizona. Donning number 16 for YD. First pitch on the outside corner. Excuse me, low one pitch on the outside edge for strike two. Abbott is ahead in the count. Excuse me, count was 1-1. Now count is 1-2. As a fastball once again on the outer half to the left-hander.
I love Tim Carey behind the plate. Emotion with that strike call. You can't ask for much more, Thomas.
Very emphatic as the 1-2 fastball runs up and out. Count evens back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Austin Wells 0 for 2 yesterday in the loss, but did have 2 walks, so that on-base percentage ticked up a bit. As the 2-2 from the windup is rolled over foul down the first base side. You know, I'll always look at every pitcher. They always have a different type of delivery, and Abbott's got an interesting one because he kind of leans over when he's getting ready to deliver, and then he fires away.
He comes into the crouch, as he likes to call it.
The 2-2 from Abbott, fastball check swing, but able to hold up is Wells.
And it's not the only Virginia pitcher that does it either. That's really how Brian O'Connor teaches his arms, and that was the pitching coach for Team USA last year, if I'm not mistaken. And he's a guy who knows his pitcher. Is right again, Abbott into the crouch.
3-2 to Wells is popped up and out of play behind the press box area. So we'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, nobody out here in the home half of the second inning. 1-0 YD lead. As the payoff pitch, curveball at the knee, strike 3. Wells goes down looking. Pretty off-speed pitch by Andrew Abbott, and he picks up his first punch out.
Yeah, and you can tell that Wells was sitting fastball and got the curve in a 3-2 count, and Abbott located it beautifully, and that's what Andrew Abbott does. It's going to be mainly fastball, curveball mix. He's going to flash the changeup on occasion, but he gets ahead, pounds the zone, and then can go to his bag of tools.
First pitch is foul tipped into the mid of Avitia for strike 1. Jeff Costello, the center fielder, was used as a pinch hitter in yesterday's loss at Katuitt. Sophomore out of Northeastern, another local kid out of Lexington, Massachusetts, as the 0-1 pitch is a small ground ball out towards shortstop, throwing across his body once again is Zamora, and able to retire Costello in time for out number 2.
It's one of those things early on in the season when not everyone's arrived yet, Thomas, and Zamora listed as a third baseman and a second baseman, but Eddie McCabe out of the lineup today. It's Zamora gets the nod at shortstop, making it look routine over there.
Yeah, they look pretty comfortable. We always see, Manny Machado, guy that plays shortstop, move to third, and kind of see the vice versa in this account as the first pitch to Miyani is fouled into the screen for strike 1. Johnny having the catching duties this afternoon. 2 down the inning, nobody on. Here in the bottom of the second as the 0-1 fastball runs up and in for ball 1. 1 hit apiece for each side, just the 1 run on the board off the bat of Andrew Eister. Pulling over the right field fence as the off-speed pitch. Ground ball just gets past Abbott, turning to Lewis, backhand throws across the diamond, or the body once again, picked at first by Emery in time. The Firebirds, pretty defensive plays displayed in this half inning. And it's a 1-2-3 inning worked by Abbott. After 2, it's the YD Red Sox 1, the Firebirds nothing. But before we cut it off, we're going to send it over to our sideline reporter, Scotty, and I've heard there's something very delicious that you can eat here at Red Wilson Field. What is it, Scotty?
Well, there's not just one thing. There's several things, but the big picture here, and guys, I think we should make this a thing. Maybe snack time with Scotty into the second inning every time. It might be a thing, but YD has the donut burger. It's just absolutely fantastic. A little tease after the game. Rob Emery said that he can eat a double cheeseburger in under 30 seconds. So I've challenged him to eat the donut burger in under 30 seconds. That's going to be on our YouTube. Sometime after the game, you're going to see if he can do it. But right now, we've got our director of ops for the Orleans Firebirds, Mr. TJ King. And TJ got a blue slushie. TJ, you didn't say it was what you wanted.
Well, I asked for a snow cone, and then they said, "What flavor do you want?" And I said, "What flavors do you have?" Because you got super excited.
Of course.
They said, "What flavor you want for a snow cone?" And then they handed me a blue slushie, and it's disappointing.
Guys, this wouldn't happen at Eldridge. I am angry now because TJ is angry. Let's get back to some baseball. Snack time with Scott. Over.
Well, thank you, Scotty. I think we have to make that a thing. Snack time with Scotty. I can tell you, go around all the ballparks and just start eating delicious entities that are around. I mean, baseball is known as a sport that has, you see the MLB today, all those foods that are coming out, some of them a little weird at times, but like I think there's like the boomstick, like a foot-long hot dog or something.
Does a corner store burrito count? Is that close enough to Eldridge Park?
I mean,
it's all of what, a 5-minute walk?
Nasa Grill's there. I mean, you got a lot of
home
places,
ports right there too. This is free advertising for these places right now.
I mean, they should be paying us a little bit now, you know. Friends, you know, if you want to stop by and get a couple snacks. Anyway, top of the third action from Red Wilson Field is first pitch runs inside to the 9-0 hitter Avintia. Seymour so far has been efficient. Just one hit allowed. 16 strikes, 14 balls, 30 pitches in 2+ innings. 1-0 pitch once again runs inside. 2-0 the count on Avintia. We've seen Seymour tonight fall behind in counts, but still able to come back. As a 2-0 once again, off speed this time. Runs down and in. 3-0 the count now on Avintia. So what happened to Lala and then Troiani, but Troiani able to work a walk as the 3-0 fastball comes in and out of the mitt of Bigiani, but in there for a strike. 3-1 the count, taking a deep breath from the windup. Kicks and deals as that one is fouled off the umpire, Carey. As he goes down, as the trainers will come out onto the field.
It just looked like it ricocheted from Avitia's bat off the glove of the catcher, Biani, and just hit Carey. Really looked like in the abdomen area and getting some attention right behind home plate, and hopefully he's okay.
And we do hope he is okay. That's the last thing you want to see is an umpire, even a player, going down. Showing some signs of movement, though, starting to get up a little bit. His head is raised a little.
Yeah, he appears to be getting back on his feet and just trying to take his time a little bit, and never really want to speculate what's going on, Thomas, but might have gotten the wind knocked out of him taking
Yeah, that's what I was
that
going to say.
foul ball off. Again, really just looked like it hit the stomach, the abdomen area. That'll be tough sometimes.
Carry on to one knee now, as both managers Nicholson and Pickler are beside him with both the trainers and the other two umpires, Jason Klump and Doug Isham.
And the other thing to, I guess, note is if Carey isn't okay to go on with this ball game, it's Cape, so there's only 3 umpires in most crews. Sometimes you even get 2, but you got 3. Hopefully it's going to stay that way and Just talking more about the baseball game. This might mess with Ian Seymour's rhythm just a little bit. He was out there, looked pretty sharp so far. Set down the Birds shy of just a walk and a single for Orleans the first 2 times up for the Birds, and just Gary still taking his time, and Kelly Nicholson making sure he's okay. And Skip, such a caring and generous man.
It's like a Cape League family between players, fans, umpires, coaches. Everybody with the utmost respect towards anybody. As well have an ice pack be brought out to him. As Gary is up and onto his feet now. Get a nice round of applause.
Looks like Kelly Nicholson giving a little bit of an explanation to a couple of the Birds members on the first base side, and seems to be pointing at the finger area on the left hand of Gary, and that's where it looks like the ice is going right there. So hopefully he's okay, and hopefully it's just a stinger. It'll pass by soon.
It looked like when maybe it was turned our way, so he was kind of holding. You don't know if he's holding his abdomen or his hand or wrist area or something. So I see guys all the time in the bigs when they take a pitch off the wrist area. That's the area that's always very fragile to any baseball. As Seymour tosses a couple balls around to his fellow infielders just to stay loose. You're right as well. Seymour was really kind of not dealing here, but he was pretty efficient, you know. He fell behind in some counts, but he was working back in every single count.
Yeah, and Scott Pickler looks like he's going to take his pitcher and catcher off the field. No one else has followed. Maybe they're going to chill in the dugout, walk to the bullpen, stay loose. It seems like Kelly and Scott are talking on the first base side, just trying to devise a game plan for the rest of this game. And Red Wilson Field does not have lights, and we'll probably run into the sunset area around 8:15 or so, and it should be a beautiful one in Cape Cod. We got some time at the current moment, only a little after 5:35, but
it's still June. Yeah, the sun sets a little bit earlier now than it will in August, as the ice is wrapped around the entirety of the left hand of Tim Cara, the home plate umpire.
Now we're far from anywhere near this situation. We're on the first base side behind home plate, and Gary's more, at least a little closer to the YD dugout on the third base side. But he's trying to plead his way to stay in this game. That's what it looks like to me. He's trying to tell the trainer that he's okay. Just he wants to call this game with the ice bag on his hand, make the strike call with the right eye. You gotta love the toughness, man.
It's like a New England hockey player.
Hey,
you know?
There's a big game. I'm pretty sure in what, 2 days now for the Bruins?
Yeah, the Bruins playing tomorrow, playing Game 7 against the Blues.
I don't even think that's the biggest game in the Massachusetts area. I think this is the biggest game over the next few days.
Red Sox in town too,
Red Sox and Firebirds, much bigger game than Blues and Bruins, 100%.
Some people disagree, but I might be with you. I really enjoy Cape League baseball. Stanley Cup playoffs. I enjoy hockey.
And of course,
all right, Thomas, I need you to explain this one to me. There are 7 YD Red Sox still on the field. The catcher, Biani, and the pitcher, Seymour, came off the field just to chill in the dugout.
Well, maybe he's want to get out of the sun or something. I don't know. There's a little shadier spot over towards the dugout.
So it looks like Tim Carey's going to leave the field himself. And
I'm not sure which umpire it is, but I know there's only one on the field right now, which means the other one, each umpire usually brings also home plate gear just in case situations like this happen. As Carey looked like he will depart from the field.
I think Scott Pickler wanted to call balls and strikes. He was moving some of the dirt around behind home plate. I'm sure he would have had some ideas.
He's got a helmet too, so he's got to get the mask and turn the helmet around, the coaching helmet the third
Okay,
base.
tell me this. Would you not love to see Kelly Nicholson umpire a game? What would that strike call be like? I think it'd be emphatic,
That's
man.
interesting. Yeah, he's a guy that gets jacked up, juiced up. That'd be interesting. We'll have to ask him that. What his call would be. A punch-out call would be interesting as well. I mean, I umpired for a bit when I wasn't a big hand motion guy or anything like that. But
How many of the bats thrown at you do you think were intentional? Because I would throw one at you intentionally.
it was little league, so I don't know. I don't know how, if anything, was intentional. But I mean,
Oh, you could get an angry 7-year-old,
yeah,
100%.
You probably could. I know, probably some kid. Little chin music up on me maybe a little bit, but some of the kids as well. It's probably umpired from a span of 7, 8-year-olds all the way up to did a couple Cal Ripken League games, 13, 14-year-old, a couple Big Diamond as well. I tell you what, 13U baseball. I remember playing it. Those games could just be forever. Kids trying to get adjusted, acclimated to the Big Diamond. A lot different than college baseball, of course.
And I would have to imagine this is going to impact Ian Seymour in some way. Rhythm-wise, was really cruising the first 2 trips when Orleans came to the plate. He fell behind Avitia, and now he's just chilling near the third base dugout. He's one of 2 Red Sox not on the field right now. Maybe enjoying a nice cup of coffee.
Got a couple Gatorade in there, a couple squirters, towel maybe.
Maybe even a soft drink, man.
Maybe he's trying. Maybe got a slushy or a snow cone or whatever they have.
100% got a donut burger. Who are we kidding?
Donut burger. I mean, getting hungry a little. It's about dinner time right now. It's 5:39 Eastern time, so seems about right. Early dinner. As a restaurant, I used to work in one. Obviously, primetime dinner out here on the Cape. 5:45, 6:15. That is going to be the busiest your restaurant is going to be. People coming off the beach, or people, especially in Orleans, 7 o'clock start time. People want to get in to the restaurant and get out before the game starts, or catch miss an inning or two, but still enjoy the game.
We make car buying fast, fair, and simple, and local. Visit Prime Subaru, Hyannis, Prime Chevrolet, Hyannis.
So as you wait for one of the other umpires to come back, we're going to step aside for a couple minutes. Again, in the top half of the third inning, nobody out and nobody on. 1-0 YD lead to listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
drafted, and more than 500 have made it to the major leagues.
Back inside Red
Visit
Wilson Field again, top of the third inning, 1-0 Red Sox lead over the Firebirds. Still waiting for an umpire here, but we head down to our sideline reporter, Scotty, for some more.
Yeah, Thomas, it's always just interesting to me to kind of look around the place when there's such a long delay like this and kind of just see what players are doing. As I think Josh mentions, both the pitcher and catcher for YD, they went into the dugout, maybe get out of the sun. The outfielders for YD are all kind of chit-chatting together. I saw Orleans pitcher who pitched last night out of the bullpen, Donovan Benoit. He was chit-chatting with the right fielder for YD. They could be old friends, and they were just chatting about whatever in between the fences, as, of course, Orleans, their bullpen is out in right field. And the rest of the Orleans batters right now, they're just kind of standing around, stretching. I saw Jack Wold at first base for YD. He was doing a full-on stretch on the ground, threw his glove to the side. It's funny to see, it's kind of halftime right now with the turnover, but everybody does their own little thing. Some people are sitting back, kind of just relaxing, talking. I saw Coach Kelly Nicholson even walk out of the dugout, walk off the field, and talk to a parent here. Looks like he might have coached his son a few years back. So it's just for me an interest to look at these guys and see what they do when they have kind of time to themselves in the middle of a ball game like this.
Scotty, I heard you're a runner and you like to run. We can't see the right field bullpen from where we're positioned. Do you want to take a run and see if Andrew Abbott's warming up?
I would love to.
Scotty Gange, ladies and gentlemen, man of many, many talents.
And if you don't know as well, before the game as well, he was doing some cartwheels. So
yeah, big time cartwheel guy.
We mentioned he's a big eater, so he's going to have that donut burger, doing some cartwheels, going for a small jog right now. Or it's actually a walk right now.
That wasn't much of a run.
Not really a run. He's just looking around, taking all the sights in. But, yeah, Scotty is a man of many talents, for sure.
Fans, the YD Red Sox would like to thank Franklin Sports.
It's almost like in that movie Kicking and Screaming, where the coach sends the parent for a run and starts timing them. And Scotty's time right now. Might need to speed it up. Let's see.
I mean,
so obviously I didn't run. I hurt my foot. I walked over here briskly, I'll tell you that much. Nobody's working out in the bullpen. Andrew Abbott right now. He's relaxed in the dugout, sitting back, and you have to think, man, maybe clearing his head. I mean, he hasn't really done much wrong. It hasn't really done much at all so far today. Really one bad pitch in just 2 innings. So he's relaxing. He's hanging out with the guy.
/custom.
For the Firebirds.
Scotty G, baby, Scotty G.
20% off your entire purchase. From Cape Cod
Gotta say, if Scotty's, giving a 60 time away, I don't know if I'm going to cut it or not, but
I would love to see Scotty race Jordan Lala. Well, we know Scotty's a big-time runner. Jordan stole nearly 30 bags at Miami in his freshman season. That'd be a race I'd pay to see.
I don't know if it'd be close, though. We're talking about a D1 baseball athlete against Snow.
Are you questioning Scotty's athletic ability?
I'm not questioning his athletic ability. I'm just saying, it'd be something if you put like a D1 athlete against another D1 athlete, like a track runner against a baseball guy. I think that'd be. I'm not saying anything to hammer down on Scotty, but.
Oh, I think that's where the shot's going.
I mean, it's like a varsity team playing an 8th grade team.
He's probably out to lunch right now and can't even hear this. If he goes back later tonight and watches the game back or listens to the game tonight, he'll hear all of this nonsense that we're going with right now, Thomas. But it seems like we're a couple moments away from resuming baseball.
It seems that we are. A new umpire out behind the dish, so it looks like we'll just be playing with 2 umpires for the remainder of this game. As Avitia is welcomed back into the batter's box. 3 balls and 2 strikes was the count
the batter is
on the
David
catcher.
Avita from Grand Canyon University.
So nobody on here in the top of the third. 1-0 Red Sox lead over the Firebirds. It's still that home run solo shot off the bat of Andrew Eister. The payoff pitch to Avitia, and he goes down swinging. Fastball at the letters. And that's strikeout number 3 now for Seymour.
So clearly Ian Seymour was not fazed at all by the long layoff. It's his 3rd K, like you mentioned, and it's just tough for Avitia to try and battle back after staying in that count 3-2. Had to wait to finish it off.
Top of the order rolls right back around as Lala swings at a first pitch fastball. Cut on and missed. Lala popped out to the catcher in his first debut. 1 slider misses outside, runs off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. On the center fielder from Miami. Seymour working quickly once again, goes right back to the slider. Lala swings and misses.
I just wanted to make sure it was the right field name.
So 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 3rd inning. 1-0 Red Sox lead. The 1-2 to Lala, cut on and miss, and Lala goes down swinging. A couple sliders there. A couple good ones as well as that one finished down below the knees.
Second baseman from
And that's
Eastern
back-to-back
Kentucky
strikeouts to
University,
start out
AJ
this top of the 3rd.
Lewis.
So a 2 down in the inning as the Firebirds searching for their first base runner, but the first 2 innings they were able to get a runner on with 2 outs as A.J. Lewis takes the first pitch above the zone for ball 1. Lewis was the first strikeout victim for Seymour. As the 1-0 is squared out, the little blooper out towards shallow right field will drop in, just squeezing in to the left of the line, and A.J. Lewis is aboard for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, Lewis had a base knock in yesterday's ball game against Bourne, was able to swipe a bag and let the middle of this Orleans lineup go to work. And he's a little crafty player, only listed at 5'10", a natural catcher, manning second for the Birds the first 2 games. He's not afraid to swipe a bag either.
Lewis, as you mentioned, has some speed over at first as Seymour works over the stretch, snap throw over to first base. Just getting back in time is Lewis. As first base coach Ryan Erickson goes has a chat, pointing over towards Seymour as Lewis will again take a lead off of first. It is Max Triani, the DH out of Bentley. Stands up on the right side, going right back over. Different move this time used by Seymour. Used a snap throw over this time, using the leg and throwing over. Triani still awaiting the first pitch. Kicking and deal as that one gets past the catcher just a little bit by Bignani, and A.J. Lewis will hustle over towards second. Able to snag a base as the off-speed pitch just goes through the 5-hole of the catcher, Bignani.
Yeah, pass ball charged against Bignani, just that ball in the dirt. Bignani was able to get the glove, even able to get some padding on it, but not able to keep it from just trickling maybe about 5 feet behind the dish, but that was enough for Lewis to scamper 90 feet.
So we're on second now. We're in scoring position with 2 down at the top of the 3rd. The 1-0. Triani reaches for that one and slaps one towards left field. Rounding third is Lewis going home. The throw from Wells runs up the first base line. And we are tied at Red Wilson Field as an RBI single off the bat of Triani advances to second on the throw home. And the Firebirds on the board here as they tie things up at 1.
And there's that pass ball coming back to harm YD. It's one of those things, just the way the game of baseball works. 1 pitch later, Triani makes him pay, and Triani's had a good game. Drew a walk in the first, stranded at third, and now an RBI base hit, advancing to second on the throw.
Another one of those temp guys that is in the lineup. First pitch to Kokoska. This is the inside black for ball 1. So Triani is on second base with 2 down once again as they're looking for another 2-out base hit. Wind still blowing in from left center. From the stretch, kicks and deals as pitch is tipped into the mid of Bignani. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, again, 2 outs in this top of the 3rd. Now it's a 1-1 ball game. As Triani large as the lead over at second for the 1-1. Kokoska goes chasing at the off-speed pitch in the dirt. Falls behind the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And these two were teammates at Virginia Tech. Kokoska transferring from VT to Kansas State. One of his old assistant coaches, Ryan Connolly, made the move over there, and Kokoska followed after not getting as much playing time as he would have liked as a true freshman.
The 1-2 Kokoska goes right back to the off-speed of the dirt. This one bounces before home plate as Bignani does a good job of using the body. Able to block this one.
And that was an interesting journey for Kokoska. He was going to go to Palm Beach State Community College really for about a month and a half, and then he got a waiver from the NCAA after a change of head coaches for Virginia Tech and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to go to Kansas State, play my ball, and it seems like that was a good move for him after the season he had as a sophomore.
It's worked out for him, and he's found his way to Cape Cod. After Seymour trying to pick off attempt on Troy at second, but no throw. Comes set at the belt. The 2-2 pitch. Kokoska fouls it back into the screen, and count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch count up to 47 pitches for Seymour. .26 strikes and 21 balls. Seymour gives a couple looks to Troy at second, kicks back towards home. The 2-2. Cut on and miss by Kokoska. He goes down swinging, but the Firebirds able to get across the run at the top of the third off the bat of Max Troiani. And Lewis coming around to score. After 2.5, it's the Firebirds 1, YD 1. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Back inside Red Wilson Field from Yarmouth, Massachusetts. It's a 1-1 ball game as the Firebirds able to tie things off with a Max Troiani RBI single. So the Red Sox trying to retake the lead here after they took it in the bottom of the first. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Red Sox as Andrew Abbott goes back to work on the hill. First pitch to left-hander is slapped through the hole on the right side into right field for a base hit as Nanny jumps on the first pitch and is aboard for the first time this afternoon.
The shortstop from the
You gotta love that response if you're Scott Pinkler, just seeing what the first batter was able to do. First pitch swinging, just poked it right through the hole on the right side. And Andrew Abbott, not only did Ian Seymour have to wait, Abbott had to wait an extended time as well. We'll see how he responds.
Sometimes that's a way to beat a pitcher if they jump on a first pitch fastball. So Nanny off of first. First pitch to 9-0 Willie Escala. Another Hurricane out of Miami. Takes a breaking ball down in the zone for ball 1. Escala also a native of Miami, Florida. Played his high school ball at South Dade High School. As Abbott comes right back with a fastball at the knees for a strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count on the shortstop. Nanny off of first. Nobody out here in this bottom of the third inning. 1-1 ball game. Abbott comes set from the stretch, kicks and fires. Ball in the dirt, but Avitia doing a good job to cover it up. So Escala is now ahead in the count, 2-1. Abbott gets aside. The 2-1 is chopped in between, gets to the left side into left field as through a diving Gill and Zamora. And just like that, the Red Sox go station to station baseball here. Back-to-back singles.
Second baseman from Pepperdine.
It's one of those neat things about the Cape Cod Baseball League and summer ball for that matter is Escala hit that ball to Raymond Gill, his college teammate over there. They grew up playing baseball together in the Miami ranks, same class, and up and down that young Miami squad. And now YD threatening, and you got to love the response. I know we mentioned it for Nani just taking the single, but even just Escala following it up.
Wide Young showing bunt. Allergies starting to get to me a little here. As Young showed bunt for a second, but pulled it back for ball one. So runners on first and second for the Red Sox. Still nobody out in this home half of the third inning. Trying to break this 1-1 tie. And that gives a couple looks over to second, kicks back to home. As the fastball misses outside. 2-0 the count.
Thomas, I stopped at the drugstore today. You should have told me. Would have picked you up some Claritin. I got myself some Claritin, man. I'm serious.
I don't know if it's allergies, but it just felt like something was in the back of my throat. And all of a sudden, it just made me cough. The 2-0 to the left-hander is slapped out towards the right center field gap. It will go all the way to wall. Coming around is Nanny around third. He'll score. Being held up at third is Escala. And just like that, the Red Sox retake the lead with an RBI double off the bat of Escala, or excuse me, Young. As Nanny came around to score Escala over at third. So runners on second and third with still nobody out here in this bottom of the third inning.
And it just seems that Abbott has left the ball up a little more in this third inning. It's YD starting to see him a little better after 3 consecutive hits. The only hit he had given up before that frame was that home run served up to Eister back in the first, and still nobody out here in the third, and you have Eister at the dish. Be interesting to see how Andrew Abbott pitches him.
Eister, of course, got the Red Sox on the board in that bottom of the first with a solo shot in over the right field fence. First pitch he sees is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball one. Again, runners on second and third. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. 2-1 Red Sox lead now. Eister had an RBI in yesterday's game, already an RBI in this game. Has a chance here to score two. 1-0 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed by Eister. County back up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Abbott looking in for his sign. Taking a long time here. Finally comes set at the belt. Kicks and deals the 1-1 pitch. Catches the outside black for a strike. 2, 1-2 the count now on Eister. The right fielder out of South Carolina. And Andrew Eister as he awaits the 1-2. The pitch is dinked out to shallow right center field. It's going to find the grass out there. Kokoska comes in, scoops it up with his left on the glove, but one will come in to score as heading in towards third now is Wyatt Young. So the Red Sox add another run here in the third inning. Now 2 in this inning, 3-1 Red Sox lead as now Matt Troop will head out towards the mound to talk to the southpaw from Virginia. Andrew Eister, though, having a nice Cape League year so far. 3 RBIs now, including a home run.
Yeah, some soft hit balls that are starting to fall off of Abbott, and again, he's just leaving pitches up in the zone, and YD just flaring it both to the left and right sides. That one blooped down in right. You saw Scalo with that single just past the diving Ray Gill on that third base side. And if you're Matt Troop, you can't be telling him to overthink anything right now. He's pitched pretty well so far. Obviously got roughed up for a run in the first here. Already 2 home in the inning, but he's gotten ahead of batters. He's been able to locate for most of this ball game. Just seems to be catching a little bit too much of the plate in the third.
He's done a pretty good job so far. You know, now and again, just this half inning, there's been a couple hits that, you know, just got a little lucky for YD, you know. Just popping over through the holes and over second or third baseman heads. First pitch fastball outside edge to Jack Wold, the first baseman. He's in the 3 spot tonight. Runners at the corners for the Red Sox. Still nobody out in this bottom of the 3rd inning. 3-1 Red Sox lead, already 5 hits through 2+ innings. As Abbott will check on the runner at first base, and Eister, he'll be back in standing. Wyatt Young over at 3rd. Andrew Eister at 1st. Kicks and deals towards home as the 0-1 pitch misses low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count to Jack Wold, the sophomore from UNLV. Hit .331 this year for the Running Rebels. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 1-1 fastball finds the inside corner for strike 2. 1-2 is the count on the first baseman. Missed some time with an injury for April was Wold. Good to see him healthy again here on the Cape as the 1-2 is spoiled off and fouled behind the bleachers on the 3rd base line. So the count remained 1 ball and 2 strikes. Abbott looking for a strikeout here that could go a long way of getting out of this inning without any more damage. That comes set. Kicks and fires as the 1-2 fastball this time is elevated and popped up and out of play once again. I believe that ball might have hit a car over the parking lot behind home plate. So I parked mine a little further away. As the 1-2's off speed ties him up, and Wold can't fight on any longer, and he goes down swinging for the first out here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, there's that curveball once again from Abbott, and Wold just couldn't connect. But even on that swing and miss right there in this 3rd inning, the pitches have been up in the zone. That was an elevated curveball that just Wold was probably thinking it was going to be a heater out of the hand up in the zone, and fooled him with the curve.
So Riley Tirado, the 3rd baseman, will stand in from the right side. Still runners in the corners with 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch fastball misses down below the knees, just missing there. Tirado, the junior out of the University of Dayton. The Flyers of the A-10 as the 1-0 pitch is off speed down in the zone once again. 2-0 the count. Avita doing a job back there. Couldn't quite squeeze it the first time, but able to hustle quickly and pick up the ball. Again, Young leading off a 3rd. Eister over at 1st. Now blowing in even more from left center. As a 2-0 pitch is hit on the ground towards 3rd. Gale throws over to 2nd. Lewis comes across the back. Throw over to 1st is not in time, so they'll get 1 out over at 2nd. But coming in to score is going to be Wyatt Young. So be a fielder's choice as YD adds another run. A 4-1 lead now over the Firebirds as their 3rd run in this 3rd inning.
And Orleans unable to turn 2 right there, but again, it's just the ball's being left up in the zone. That pitch a little better from Abbott, but Tirado, a good baser and able to beat it out.
So now it's left fielder Austin Wells out of Arizona, puts a good jolt into that one, gets through the wickets of Lewis into right center field, heading around 3rd as Pickler almost gets in the way of the runner as they're going home. The throw is not in time as Pickler almost fell backwards as Tirado was trying to come around 3rd. So what would have been the call there if Pickler ran into the runner? Because it's not obstruction or.
Now Kelly's coming out to have a word about something to see if there was some sort of obstruction with Orleans' defense, but you wouldn't think so. The only guy he got in the way of was his own runner.
So this is interesting too because now we only have a 2-man umpiring crew. So there's not the extra umpire for another set of eyes.
Fans, if you have lost your iPhone, then please come up to the press box.
So now both umpires will meet just off the mound as the conference ends pretty quickly.
And it seems like Kelly was just asking to see what they saw in that play, and appears that neither umpire saw whatever Kelly was asking about. So, again, there it is.
Yeah.
Short an umpire, you would have another one on that third base side, but you've got Jason Klump and Doug Isham trying to handle the job of 3 people for 2.
So 5-1 lead now for the Red Sox as Costello, first pitch he sees, he fouls it behind home plate. So go down as an error against Lewis over at second. As well as Zafa first, running now towards second. Pitches in there for a strike, throw down to second. Lewis loses his footing, but the throw is wide. As he tried to extend his body as far as he could to get that throw, but immediate throw just a little bit off the mark. But count is no balls and 2 strikes.
And Abbott just got to find a way to get Costello right here, the 8th batter of this frame, already a 4th spot on the board for YD, just trying to limit the damage and get the bats up at the dish.
The 0-2 fastball just runs off the outside edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the center fielder Costello. Sophomore again out of Northeastern. The 1-2 pitch, just getting a piece of it out of the off-speed pitch. That was a good-looking curveball there from Abbott, dipping down, but Costello just able to stay alive. Wells off a second. 2 down here in the bottom of the third. 5-1 Red Sox lead. As the 1-2 pitch is once again chopped foul down the third base side. Still to do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wind now blowing in more from left field as this game has gone on. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball runs up in the zone, so count evens up at 2-2. Again, Abbott just trying to find a way to get out of this inning. After the Firebirds tied up in the top half of this inning at 1, the Red Sox have answered with 4 of their own. The 2-2 is grounded over towards second to Lewis. Picks it up squarely on the ground, throws over to first, and in time to retire Costello. But not before the Red Sox scratch across 4 runs. That's after 3. It's a 5-1 Red Sox lead. As Kellen Nicholson continues to have a conversation with the home plate umpire about maybe asking what he was going to see over there.
99, always the real deal.
But again, a couple of runs batted in from Young and Eister. 4 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base is the total, the tally for the Red Sox in that half inning.
We would like to thank our
as we'll head into a quick break here in between innings. Again, after 3, it's a 5-1 Red Sox lead. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Top of the 4th here at Red Wilson Field. It's a 5-1 YD advantage. The Birds have some work to do after giving up a 4 spot in the home half of the third. Josh Zamora, the shortstop out of Nevada, going to lead things off. First pitch from Ian Seymour runs inside back to the backstop for ball 1. Seymour back out there for the Red Sox. He's looked good through the first 3 innings so far today. Just really made 1 mistake so far. 1-0. Fastball fought off by Zamora out of play, and it's 1-1. Zamora digging back in from the right side. Manning shortstop today for Orleans. 1-1 misses upstairs, and it's 2-1. Zamora played over at the hot corner yesterday. Raymond Gill in the lineup today for the Birds. He's at third base. He's waiting on deck for Orleans. Seymour out of the windup. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's a fastball skied out of play, and it's 2-2.
We can say for the first 2 games so far, both third basemen have made some nice plays so far. Of course, Zamora, as you mentioned before, man, the third base yesterday.
2-2 on its way. Fastball got on and missed strike 3, so Seymour another punch out. It's his 6th of the evening, and there's 1 down here in the 4th.
Yeah, we talked about the long break, but Seymour continues to retire the Firebirds here.
And Ray Gill, the Firebirds third baseman, will dig in from the right side. Southpaw Seymour standing tall on the rubber, gets the sign, rocks in, fires the first pitch. A breaker misses up and away for ball 1. Firebirds trail 5-1 here with 1 away in the top of the 4th. Gill 0 for 1 so far in the ball game. Hit a hot shot right at his counterpart, Teroda, in the second. 1-0, rocking it out to deep center field. Costello ranging back, looks up, and you can kiss this ball goodbye. Raymond Gill tees off for a home run. It's his first hit as an Orleans Firebird, and the Birds have struck back. It's 5-2 here in the 4th.
Well, that one could have gone for a little bit further than what is the center field fencer. Costello took a couple steps, and he just stopped trotting back there. That one is well into the woods out there in center field, and the wind is also blowing in from left center. So Gill hit that one a ton, as that one probably rolled a couple extra, maybe 20 extra feet after that one landed. Well, that's the kind of start that the Firebirds would have wanted after the last half inning. That's a good answer for the Birds.
Gill had a hot shot his first time up, straightens this one out over the fence. First pitch to Rob Emery misses upstairs for ball 1. And that's what Gill did at Miami in his sophomore season, just saw the ball well at 13 homers for that Hurricane squad. 1-0, a fastball cut on and missed, and it's 1-1. And hey, maybe seeing Ian Seymour throughout the year paid some dividends for Ray. Virginia Tech and Miami played later on in the season in the early weeks in May. The 1-1 fastball fought off and out of play over home plate and into the crowd, and it's 1-2. Emery singled his first time up, was stranded on first base. It was a busy inning for Riley Teroda, the third baseman in that frame, made all 3 outs. 1-2, fastball slapped the other way, and this one runs out of play. And we'll do it again. It's a 5-2 Red Sox lead here with 1 away in the top of the 4th. Rob Emery, the rising senior from San Francisco, has picked up 3 hits in his first 4 at-bats in the Orleans Red. 1-2, fastball hit the other way, right at the second baseman. Young off his glove on a backhand and trickles into shallow right field. A hard hit ball by Rob Emery as he continues to swing a hot bat.
Now that would have been a tough play for the second baseman in Young. A nice try to pick that one over at second, but that was just too well hit. That was a difficult play. Out of a scale of 10, that's probably an 8 for the second baseman to make. But Emery, you're exactly right, continues to stay hot at the plate.
And they're going to score that in E4 on Wyatt Young, and that's a tough play to rule an error. So Emery not going to be too happy with the official scoring here on the Cape. Almost losing an extra base hit, but the Birds with a 1-out base runner, and Zach Daniels the batter. First pitch, check swing, tapped foul up the first base side for strike 1.
That was a pretty tough score there, I think.
I thought that was a hit.
I rolled that one a hit in my book, but
yeah,
someone gets paid the big bucks and we don't, so.
Emery on at first. Starting to inch his lead a little closer to second base. Seymour set at the belt, the 0-1. Curveball paints the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Daniels bounced out his first time up to end the second inning. Junior from Tennessee just batted an even 200 for the Volunteers, but the power is there. Hit 4 home runs and 60 at-bats. The 0-2. Fastball misses at the letters of Daniels, and it's 1-2. And this is about as highly touted as you'll see a kid come to Cape Cod. Ranked as the 48th overall draft-eligible prospect for the 2020 first-year MLB player draft. That ranking coming from D1 Baseball. Seymour set at the belt. Checks on Emery, the 1-2. Curveball fouled back behind the dish over the press box here at Red Wilson Field. And we will do it again.
Yeah, he's definitely a big kid, and you can tell when he's at the dish. Taking a couple of these hacks here. Already sporting the Orleans red with his red and black bat.
It's a YD 5-2 advantage with 1 away, and now Seymour a check on Emery at first base. And Emery not necessarily the biggest threat to go. Stole 1 bag in his junior campaign at San Francisco and got caught stealing yesterday. Seen an aggressive Orleans base running club so far in the first early going. 1-2, bouncer in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher Biani to keep Emery at first base, and the count evens at 2-2. We'll hear from Kelly Nicholson at the end of this complete inning once we're through 4 on the road here at Red Wilson Field. With the Birds trailing the Red Sox 5-2 with 1 away. Lefty on righty matchup 2-2. Fastball once again popped. Foul on the right side. We'll do it once again. And Daniels making his first appearance as an Orleans Firebird. And Orleans only with 3 position players on the bench now. Johnson, Marconi, and McCabe, with Marconi being activated late last night. Plenty of reinforcements on the way for Orleans over the next coming weeks. 2-2. Fastball caught on and missed strike 3. Seymour blew the heater right past Daniels. It's the 7th K for Ian Seymour, and there's 2 down in the 4th.
Yeah, Seymour once again we mentioned his numbers at the top of the broadcast about his strikeout totals, but you know, we see guys come to Cape, they're not a big strikeout guy, and then all of a sudden they come to Cape and they just aren't.
So Seymour dealing, and we'll check in with our very own Scotty Gage, who's working the sideline. Scotty, what you got?
End of the last. Andrew Abbott will be done for the day, and so I walked down to the bullpen. Looks like the big, tall righty Chase Wallace is warming up for the Firebirds, so expect to see him in the next inning, guys.
Thanks, Scotty. Seymour still out there for YD, so it seems like the VT guy beating the UVA Cavalier. The 0-1 to Avitia fouled back, and it's 0-2. So far for YD, they have scored 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. For Orleans, it's 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 3 runners left on. It's Emery on at first with 2 down. The 0-2, fastball caught on and missed strike 3. What a response from Ian Seymour, who picks up 3 strikeouts in the frame. He's up to 8 through the first 4 innings. But the Birds able to respond with a run on the solo shot by Ray Gill. It's his first home run of the summer. We're through 3.5 at Red Wilson Field. It's YD 5 and Orleans 2. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Red Wilson Field. It's YD with a 5-2 lead over Orleans as we head to the home half of the fourth. New arm into the ball game for the Firebirds. Kelly Nicholson turning it over to the junior from Tennessee, Chase Wallace, who's set to make his first appearance in the Orleans Red. Wallace pitched 9 times for the Volunteers, 6 2/3, had an ERA of 135. So that will end the day for Andrew Abbott, who went 3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, no walks, and 2 Ks in what might be his worst performance for Orleans so far. He'll have a couple more before he goes to try out for Team USA in just a couple of weeks, as this will be the 7-hole hitter for YD, starting with Eric Biani. First pitch from Wallace tied him up with a heater, 0-1. Josh White alongside Thomas Zinzarelli here for the Birds Broadcast Network. Tennessee native making his Orleans debut. The 0-1 pitch, fastball in at the knees, and it's 0-2. Biani bounced out his first time up. Ground ball hit to A.J. Lewis to end that second inning. Wallace out of the winds-up, the 0-2 pitch. A breaking ball slapped the other way. Rob Emery down to his knees. He'll take it to the bag himself on the first base side, and there's 1 down. And Rob Emery making first base look easy the last few days. A natural catcher over at first base.
Well, you know it's funny. I like to joke around with Scott. Our sound reporter is Scotty H from the movie Moneyball, like Scott Hatterberg, and Rob Emery's a little bit the same. You know, not a natural first baseman, but looking like a natural down there.
Dalen Nanny now the batter. Righty on lefty matchup. First pitch, fastball hums in there for strike 1. Nanny didn't waste any time off Andrew Abbott. Singled to kick off that 3rd inning rally. The 0-1 from Wallace. A fastball tapped the other way. Going to be a tough play for Zamora. He charges it. Throw on to first base in time. Josh Zamora came bolting towards home plate to grab that slow-rolling ball off the bat of Nanny. And the Orleans defense continues to shine. There's 2 away.
Wow, Josh Zamora, talk about that. Unbelievable play by Zamora at shortstop. Again, that is not an easy play. Charging in, slow chopper with some speed and Nanny, and just made it look easy, Zamora.
So that will bring up the shortstop from the University of Miami, Willie Escala. The first pitch, a fastball in at the belt for strike 1. Escala singled last inning as well, and he came around to score. With YD now leading 5-2 with 2 outs in the home half of the 4th inning. Wallace takes a step off the rubber, now back on. Stands at 6'2", 200 pounds. The 0-1, a curveball that Escala shows bunt on and pulls back, and it's 1-1. Willie will drop one down on occasion. He's got plenty of speed from that right side. An excellent bunter, and his college teammate Ray Gill knows all about it. He's in on the grass to the third base side. The 1-1, a breaker that Wallace lost his footing on and tails outside, and it's 2-1. We'll get to hear from Kelly Nicholson after this half inning, see what Skip has to say through the first 4. Wallace is 2-1. A fastball caught on and missed, and it's 2-2. Andrew Abbott went the first 3 for Orleans. Got tagged for 5 runs for the Mern, and now it's the bullpen who was excellent last night for the Firebirds. Here's the 2-2. Curveball waved out and missed, strike 3. Chase Wallace, a 1-2-3 inning out of the bullpen, and that's the response Orleans needed as the right-hander from Tennessee able to retire the bottom third of this YD lineup. Scotty Gange working his way towards the Orleans dugout on the first base side. He will chat with Orleans Firebirds field manager Kelly Nicholson, and it appears like we might have to wait a little bit for Skip. We'll check in with Scotty a little later as YD leads Orleans 5-2. We're through 4 complete innings here at Red Wilson Field. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top of the 5th here at Red Wilson Field. The Orleans Firebirds trail the YD Red Sox 5-2, and Ian Seymour back out on the bump for the Red Sox. He's been excellent so far today. He's only really made 2 bad pitches, a solo home run off the bat of Ray Gill in that 4th, and then the RBI single to Max Troiani in the 3rd. Birds have scored in 2 consecutive innings, and their leadoff man Jordan Lala will try and continue that trend. First pitch to Lala, fastball cut on and missed. It's 0-1. Jordan 0 for 2 so far today. He struck out swing his last time up. One of 8 strikeouts for Seymour. 0-1, a breaker that Lala goes fishing at, and it's 0-2. Not the best start that Jordan would have wished for on the game. 0 for his first 6, but he's got a very patient eye at the dish. Lefty on lefty matchup 0-2. Fastball misses upstairs, and it's 1-2. Lala drew 61 walks in 60 games for the Miami Hurricanes. Set a freshman single-season record, breaking Harry Shapiro's mark in 1976. The 1-2 breaker in there, strike 3. Biani with the frame job, and the home plate umpire punches out Lala. He's just going to smile and walk back to the first base dugout. K number 9 for Seymour, and there's 1 out in the 5th.
And you can kind of tell after that strike 3 call, maybe Lala disagreed a little bit, kind of staying in the box for an extended period of time. Leaning forward and backwards.
A.J. Lewis now the batter for the Firebirds. First pitch, hot shot hit to the left side, right at Willie Escala, the shortstop who makes the grab. And Lewis a good swing, but Escala to a couple quick steps towards his right. So Seymour's retired the last 4 in a row, including striking out 3 of the last 4. And Max Troiani, who delivered an RBI single his last time up, will take it. Troiani 1 for 1, walked in the 1st, drove in a run in the 3rd. Lefty on righty matchup, first pitch, fastball skied into shallow right center field. Second baseman Young going out. The right fielder Eister coming on, he can't get there, and Troiani bloops a Texas League single into right field, his second base hit, and he's on with 2 outs here in the 5th.
Again, that's just one of those hits that have really gone YD's way, but you have to wonder too if the win again, blowing in from left center, blowing it away from the center fielder Costello, but Eister too far out of his reach, so it drops in for a base hit.
Zach Kokoska, the batter for the Firebirds, going to try and make that 2-out single stand up. Some action working in the YD bullpen. First pitch to Kokoska, a breaking ball, and he swings out in the dirt for strike 1. It's YD 5, Orleans 2, with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Troiani aboard at first base, and Kokoska, who has gone down via the K twice so far tonight. Seymour check on the runner at first base and nothing doing. And these 2 old college teammates, Kokoska played his first season at Virginia Tech alongside Ian Seymour. Just got 15 at-bats with the Hokies in his rookie campaign before transferring to Kansas State. The 0-1, Seymour picks off the runner Troiani. The throw down from the first baseman Wold in time. The pickoff goes 1-3-6 as Troiani is erased on the pickoff move from Ian Seymour. So the Birds unable to make that 2-out single for Troiani stand up. And after 4.5, we're halfway home here at Red Wilson Field. It's YD 5, Orleans 2, and we will check in with our sideline reporter Scotty Gage, who's over at the Snack Shack here at Red Wilson Field.
Guys, I talked about it earlier, the so-called donut burger. I'll be eating it next inning, but first off, we got to learn about it. Here with Kathy, she's running things in here. You've called it the Hurler, correct?
Hurler. The Hurler is the original donut burger, and it's been around for over 15 years.
You said you've been in here since 2004.
I joined the organization in 2004.
Your son ate the 1,000th Hurler in 2008, is that right?
It was probably around then, 2005 maybe, 2006. He's now 28, and I think he was about 8. So
oh, wow.
That kind of gives us a clue. It's probably been 20 years since we've been doing them.
20 years of the Hurler. What am I about to get myself into?
People come from all over the country specifically looking for it. So I think you're in for a wonderful treat.
Kathy, I can't wait. Thanks so much. I'm going to eat that the next half inning. Guys, I cannot wait. Let's get back to some baseball here.
Thanks, Scotty. That will be very fun to see Scotty Gaines try an adventure on a donut burger. We'll see what Rob Emery can do after the ball game as well. It seems like Scotty's up to a couple tricks so far today here at Red Wilson Field. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th in South Yarmouth. The Red Sox with a 5-2 lead over the Firebirds. First pitch to Wyatt Young, a fastball cut on and missed for strike 1. Chase Wallace back out for his second inning of work, a scoreless frame in the 4th, including a strikeout of Willie Escala to end the inning. Righty on lefty matchup. Here's the 0-1. A fastball that brushes Young off the dish, and it's 1-1. Young's 1 for 2 today, an RBI double his last time up and came around to score. That was part of the 4-run frame for the Red Sox in the 3rd. Wallace has the black leather in front of the face, kicks and fires 1-1. A fastball chopped past Wallace on the mound to the second baseman Lewis. He's going to have to rush the throw, and Young beat it out. Lewis was taking his time over at second base on the slow roller back up the box, and Young was speeding down the line for an infield single.
Oh, that was definitely a slow throw over from Lewis, and the speed from Young able to beat the throw out, but the type of day it's been for the Firebirds.
Orleans has not had much go their way so far today. An error on the Birds defensively. That's an infield single, but it's one of those mental errors that might come back later in this ball game. Andrew Eister now the batter. The first pitch from Wallace. A fastball crushed on a line into left field for a base hit. This one will roll to the corner. Zach Daniels digs it out with his right hand. Eister cruising into second. Young going first to third. It's a stand-up double for Andrew Eister, his 3rd hit of the ball game. And the Red Sox with 2 in scoring position and still nobody out in the frame.
Again, it's just trying to get that first guy out in the inning can be really crucial. We saw in the 3rd when the Red Sox put up 4 runs, and again, just they got the first 4 men on in that inning. So Wallace needing some help here to try to get 1 out. We'll use a strikeout here.
Now Eister also just a triple shy of the cycle. Homered his first time up back in that 1st inning. An RBI single in the 3rd, and now a double here in the 5th. Infield in here for Orleans. Righty on lefty matchup. First pitch to Jack Wold. A fastball cut on and missed for strike 1. Firebirds trail the Red Sox 5-2 with nobody out in the home half of the 5th. Wold 0 for 2 today in the 3-hole. He struck out swinging his last time up. One of just 2 strikeouts for Andrew Abbott across the first 3 innings. 0-1 pitch. A breaking ball that has Wold looking silly, just lunging out in front, and it's 0-2. And if Orleans is going to be able to stay in this ball game, they need Wallace to limit the damage here in this frame. It's a 3-run deficit with the infield in. Wallace a deep breath. 0-2. Fastball runs inside, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
You need to keep a ball in the infield here if you're Wallace. Infield playing a little in here.
The 1-2. Fastball cut on and missed. Strike 3. Wallace a cutter tailing towards that right-handed batter's box. Wold couldn't connect. It's Wallace's 2nd K, but not out of the woods just yet. There's 1 down in the 5th with runners in scoring position.
Or if you're Wallace, you can just do that. Strike the guy out, get it out on the board, and again now needs another strikeout or keep a ball in the infield. But Toronto's going to try to maybe elevate one here just to get a sac fly.
Righty on righty matchup, the first pitch. Fastball just nubbed up the 3rd base side, but foul for strike 1. Wyatt Young was running on contact from 3rd base. We saw him showcase the wheels, beating out that infield single to kick off this frame. It's the reason why you're batting in the leadoff spot 9 times out of 10. That means you got some speed.
Well, he did flash that speed on a ground ball the 2nd.
Eister aboard at second base. Young 90 feet away. Infield in for Orleans with 1 down. Wallace set at the chest. Here's the 0-1. A breaker that tails outside, and it's 1-1. Orleans with plenty of arms to go to. Again, just 3 position players off the bench today for the Firebirds. A wholesale of pitchers available. We were at the Welcome Barbecue a few days ago, and it seemed like everyone was a right-handed pitcher.
That's exactly right.
1-1 pitch. Fastball runs low, and it's 2-1. I only heard 2 broadcasters, 1 sideline reporter, 1 writer, producer, 1 marketing intern, a bunch of game day interns, but no multiple broadcasters really.
I don't think we signed temporary contracts either,
No,
hopefully.
no.
So.
We might have to kick you out, Thomas, tomorrow. That's what I heard.
I don't know. Maybe take over Scotty's job.
That might happen too. 2-1 pitch. Fastball fouled back to the screen, and it's 2-2.
Maybe I got traded to a different team, you know.
You already traded, kind of, from last summer to this summer. Your thoughts?
Maybe a little bit, yeah, from Forest here, but player to be named later, maybe some bucket of balls or a soda or something.
Yeah, I don't know how much you'd be worth, Thomas. I'd pay the world. 2-2 pitch. Breaker, cut on and miss, strike 3. Chase Wallace flashing the curveball, and Terada can't keep up. And Wallace one more out away from getting out of the jam.
Again, Chase Wallace really trying to will his way out of this jam after allowing a single and then a double back-to-back punch-outs. And now the infield move back here after playing in line with the bases before.
Wallace trying to keep it at a 3-run deficit for the Firebirds. Righty on lefty matchup, the first pitch. A breaking ball that ties up Austin Wells, and he did not go around on the appeal for ball 1. Can hear some of the murmurs from that first base dugout for Orleans. They thought that Wells couldn't hold down. Wells is 0 for 2 today, struck out looking his first time up. The 1-0. Fastball misses up and away, and it's 2-0. YD 5, Orleans 2, with 2 down in the home half of the 5th. Eister on at second, and Young off of third base. Wells digs back in from the left side, sporting the red and white stirrups for the YD Red Sox. 2-0. A fastball skied down the left side and tailing out of play, and it's 2-1.
That's one thing I love about the Cape League. A couple teams have those stirrups and absolutely love them. I love the YD Red Sox unis right now with the stirrups and the white. Everything about it, but Orleans 2 with the red, nothing beats it.
Not much looks better here on Cape Cod. 2-1 pitch. Fastball runs inside, almost clips Wells. He moves out of the way, and it's 3-1. The Red Sox have scored 5 runs on 7 hits, and they've made 2 errors and only left 1 runner on base. For Orleans, it's 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, and 4 runners left on. Wells behind, ahead in the count. 3-1. Fastball misses well upstairs, ball 4. So Wallace offers a free pass to Austin Wells, and the bases are full for Jeff Costello.
Center fielder from Northeastern University.
Interesting how it's just the game of baseball. Wallace strikes out Walt, and then Terada, and then falls well behind in Wells and able to work a walk. So sometimes you think you have it, and sometimes you don't. Wallace will try to bear down here and trying to get Costello out.
Bases full of Red Sox here with 2 outs in the 5th. First pitch from Wallace. Fastball misses low and outside for ball 1. Now David Avitia, Firebirds catcher, going to come out and try and calm down the right-hander. Wallace didn't pitch too often for Tennessee this season, but when he did, he was excellent. Just 9 appearances across 6 2/3, but posted a 1.35 ERA, held opponents to just a 2.17 batting average. Pitched more last summer for the Santa Barbara Foresters out in California. 17 1/3 at a 2.60 ERA. This is one of the best arms in the country. Highly touted kid out of high school. Rawlings perfect game, honorable mention. 1-0 pitch. A fastball fouled back, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, why Young over at third base? We know his speed. He's flashing. Or he's skipping right when Wallace is going to pitch, trying to distract him. Gill well off the line. Young has a healthy lead over at third.
Bases full, the 1-1. A breaker misses low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Wells on at first. Eister off of second. Young 90 feet away at third. Wind gusting in from left field, shading towards right. Outfield straight away for Orleans with the 6-hole hitter Jeff Costello digging back in. 2-1. Fastball skied the other way down the right field line. Kokoska giving chase. But this one runs out of play, and it's 2-2. So a chance for Chase Wallace to get out of the jam. The Red Sox had the first 2 base runners on this inning, a single by Wyatt Young, then followed up by a double by Andrew Eister. Platoon scoring position and nobody out, and Wallace issued a 2-out walk to Austin Wells, but has almost limited the jam. Base is full with 2 down. The 2-2. Breaking ball caught on and missed, strike 3. Chase Wallace works himself in and out of trouble here in the 5th as the Red Sox leave the bases full in the frame. YD scores no runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and they strand 3 on the base paths. And we have reached the time in this ball game with YD leading Orleans 5-2 after 5 complete innings. Our sideline reporter, Scotty Gange, is going to take on the challenge of eating the donut burger. Scotty, you ready?
I'm not really ready, but it's the moment we've been waiting for. I'm holding it in my hand right now. It's called the Hurler. So what this is there's jelly inside. Kathy was telling us about it. It's people come from all across the nation to try this thing. It could be a one-bite wonder, and I just could hate it. So, guys, let's go for it, all right? To be honest, very, very basic. Pretty decent donut. The meat is awful, but hey, I actually will take several more bites. Guys, it's better than I thought it would be, honestly. It's okay. I'll give it it's a 6 out of 10 today. 6 out of 10.
Wow, that's not that bad. When you said it was awful, and we appreciate the honesty. Honesty is the best policy. I thought the number was going to be much lower, but 6 out of 10 is not too bad, Scotty.
Not too bad, guys. Back over to you.
Thanks, Scotty. We hope you enjoy the rest of that burger out in right field with YD leading Orleans 5-2 as we head to the top of the 6th, and it looks like we have a new arm into the ball game for the YD Red Sox. As Jacob Winger, the right-hander from High Point University, will come in to replace Ian Seymour, who was great across the first 5 innings for the Red Sox. Seymour went 5 strong, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, a walk, and struck out 9. He's in line for his first win of the summer, but Orleans has plenty of cracks at the dish to try and flip the script just a little bit.
There's still plenty of time for the Firebirds. Again, just need to chip away at this 3-run deficit. Again, sometimes it just takes one swing of the bat.
So Zach Kokoska going to lead off the top of the 6th inning. He was stranded at the dish after Max Troiani got caught stealing to end the 5th. First pitch to Kokoska. He's swinging and lunges 1 foul for strike 1. Kokoska's 0 for 2 today. I'm sure it's a welcome sight for him to see Ian Seymour out of the ball game. He struck out both of his plate appearances against his old college teammate. Righty on lefty matchup with Winger set at the belt. The 0-1. A fastball on a line. Past the jumping Willie Escala into left field for a base hit. Kokoska picks up a base knock for the Birds, and the offense continues for Orleans late in this ball game.
That's Kokoska's first Cape League hit as well. Finally able to get that one. I'm sure he was very happy that Seymour was out of the game. Seymour had his number in the first 2 ABs, but Kokoska reaching for one just pushes it the other way, right where it came from, the outer half of the plate.
And this is the part of the lineup Orleans wants up. They got their big boppers at the dish, and Josh Zamora, the next man up for the Firebirds. The first pitch, a breaking ball in there, 0-1. Zamora's 0 for 2 today, struck out swing his last time up, but crushed a home run in the Birds' opening day victory against Bourne yesterday. Provided the only offense for the Firebirds, but it was enough for their pitching staff a day ago. Runner on first, here's the 0-1. A breaker that drops in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Shortstop out of Nevada. Listed as a third baseman and a second baseman for the Firebirds this summer, but manning shortstop. And Orleans with just 12 position players at the moment. We'll see a bunch more come in over the next few weeks. Winger set at the belt. The 0-2. A fastball chopped back up the middle, right at the shortstop. Escala, glove flip over to Wyatt. Throw on to first in time. 6-4-3 double play, and with 1 pitch, Jacob Winger picks up 2 crucial outs as Josh Zamora grounds into a 6-4-3 double play.
That's definitely a mood killer for the Firebirds. They get leadoff man on in the 6th inning, and just like that, it's erased, and quickly 2 outs here in the way half the 6th.
And Raymond Gill will bat with the bases cleared. With the Firebirds down by 3 runs with 2 outs in the 6th inning. First pitch to Gill, a fastball up in the zone that he takes a big hack at for strike 1.
He's probably a little swing happy here after the home run he had back in the 4th.
Gill crushed that ball over the center field fence. Not a deep ballpark here at Red Wilson Field, but cleared it by plenty of space. The 0-1, another heater up in the zone that Gill lays off of, and it's 1-1.
Special little side wind going on there too. Definitely launched that one well in.
Gill calls time after Winger was on the mound, just trying to get the sign from the catcher, Biani. Ray digs back in from the right side, just with one batting glove on that left hand. The 1-1, a fastball once again. That's near the chest that he can't connect on, and it's 1-2. Gill will rotate, going from no batting gloves to 1. I don't think I've ever seen Ray Gill with 2 batting gloves at one time.
Must be a superstition or something. Maybe he hit a home run with the 1. He said, I'll keep the 1 on.
Continues to go that way. 1-2. Fastball cut on and missed. Gill goes down to his knees, strike 3. So Winger comes out of the bullpen, served up a single to Kokoska, raced on the double play, and the Birds unable to score here in the top of the 6th. Orleans scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave nobody left on base. What the home half of the 6th here at Red Wilson Field. 5-2 YD advantage. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. The Firebirds trail the Red Sox 5-2 as we head to the home half of the 6th here at Red Wilson Field. Another pitching change for Orleans. It's the hard-throwing right-hander Cameron Fields out of the University of Texas in Austin. Fields set to make his Orleans debut, a two-way player originally from the Lone Star State. Made 20 appearances this past season for the Longhorns. Went 1-2 with a 4.26 ERA. Struck out 36 batters across 25 and a 3rd innings pitched. Eric Biani to lead things off. He fouls off a fastball for strike 1. Biani, the catcher today for Steve Pickler. He's 0 for 2 today. Couple of groundouts for Biani. It's the bottom 3rd of the order for YD. 0-1 from Fields. A fastball blown right past Biani, and it's 0-2. Let's give you the final line on Chase Wallace. He went 2 innings out of the bullpen for the Firebirds. Surrendered 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 4 Ks. The 0-2, a fastball on a line into left field. Daniels coming on. This one bounces down for a base hit. So Eric Biani picks up a base knock for the Red Sox. It's their 8th hit of the ball game, and they've got a leadoff man to start the 6th.
Well, that's the way it's been so far for part of the game where Wandy should be able to get the leadoff man on and just able to produce some runs. You know, we've seen the last couple innings when they have scored, both innings that they have. Got a man on early.
We'll see Fields work out of the stretch for the first time this season. First pitch, fastball hit right on the screws into center field. Bounces in front of Jordan Lala. And back-to-back hard line drive singles for YD as Biani and Nani are aboard. And the 9-hole hitter, Willie Escala, will dig in with 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, Nani just jumping on the first pitch fastball right at his wheelhouse. And good piece of hit in there. And good-looking hit as well.
So Escala, the shortstop from the University of Miami, who's 1 for 2 today, will bat for the 3rd time. Nani off of first, Biani on second base, nobody out in the home half of the 6th inning. Righty on righty matchup, Fields' first pitch. Escala shows bunt, pulls it back on the breaking ball that runs outside and runs to the backstop. Biani and Nani advance 90 feet on the wild pitch. And now the Red Sox have a couple of insurance runs waiting in scoring position. So after the Firebirds had a complete game shutout from their pitching staff yesterday, it has not been the same way so far today. They've served up 5 runs on 9 hits, and Escala threatening for more. The infield comes in for Orleans. The 1-0 pitch. A fastball on a line into center field for a base hit. Biani's home from third. Being held up at third base is Nani. It's an RBI single for Willie Escala. It makes it a 6-2 YD lead.
Again, just the hitters for YD jumping on some early pitches off the fields and just adding to their mark here, trying to, again, buy some more insurance runs and just build up this lead.
So Escala, his second base knock of the day, and now Wyatt Young, the second baseman, will dig in. And Young's been a menace on the base pass as well. He's got 2 hits to show for the Red Sox. An RBI double in the 3rd and came around to score and singled his last time up. Righty on lefty matchup. Young choking up on the bat. The first pitch, fastball right down the chute for strike 1. The corners are in for Orleans. The middle is back for 2, trying to turn the double play. The Firebirds trailing by 4 runs here in the home half of the 6th inning. Fields a soft throw over to first base, and Escala is able to dive back in. And you knew Scott Pickler's club would come to play against Orleans after falling to Katuitt yesterday 4-3. The 0-1 pitch, a breaking ball that runs inside of Wyatt Young. He's trying to plead his case, saying that it hit him, but it's beneficial that it didn't. Nani scores from third base. Escala moves up to second, and now Kelly Nicholson's going to come out and see, hey, did that hit him? Because Wyatt Young immediately pointed towards his foot, saying it hit him, and Nicholson wants to see if, in fact, it did.
Yeah, definitely. I think if it hits him, I think it's better for Orleans, because then even though the bases are loaded, you can still get a double play ball out of this. Whereas if a run comes in the scores, a runner on second, and it adds to the tally. So
they do say it hit Wyatt Young, so Young will be awarded first base. Nani will have to go back to third, and Willie Escala moves up to second. So the bases are full for the Red Sox, and now Matt Troop, the Firebirds pitching coach, will come out and have a word with Cameron Fields. And you knew when a kid said he got hit and made a point about it and turned around to the umpire, despite when otherwise it would have benefited his team, that he definitely got hit.
Oh, for sure. It looked like it might have clipped him on the inside of either his foot or the inside of his knee or something.
So once again, YD threatening with the bases full. They left the bases stranded just an inning ago. A very similar spot that Chase Wallace found him in the 5th. Red Sox have scored 6 runs on 10 hits, 2 errors, and 4 runners left on. For Orleans, it's 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, and 4 runners left on the base pass as well. And a chance for Cameron Fields to earn his stripes against Andrew Eister, who's 3 for 3 today. Eister a triple shy of the cycle for the Red Sox. The first pitch, breaking ball misses low for ball 1.
Especially in this ballpark, if he can hit one down the right field line, I think that's his best shot of getting that triple to reach the cycle.
He had a solo home run in the 1st, had an RBI single in the 3rd, and then doubled in the 5th. He might even get one more at bat in this ball game after this one. Wind picking up here at Red Wilson Field. The 1-0, a fastball cut on and missed, and it's 1-1.
Kelly signaling a lot of the fielders to play in line with the base, it looks like. The corners look to be in. Just the middle two infielders to stay in line for a double play.
Base is full of Red Sox. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-1. Breaker bounces low, gets past Avidia to the screen, and Nanny will score from third. Both runners advance 90 feet, and the Red Sox tack on another run on the wild pitch. It's now 7-2 in favor of YD.
And so far in this inning, just a couple tough pitches for Avidia to block that have led to YD runners either advancing or scoring.
So now Young's on second, Escala 90 feet away at third, and the infield comes all the way in for the Firebirds. Fields behind Eister 2-1. The pitch, a fastball cut on and missed, and it's 2-2. From our vantage point, doesn't appear that anyone's warming up in the Orleans bullpen. It's a little tough to see from where we're positioned. Infield in, outfield straight away. Wind gusting to right field. 2-2. Breaker in the dirt that Eister couldn't lay off of. Avidia applies the tag. And Fields picks up his first K, and there's one away in the 6th.
And finally, Andrew Eister has been retired this evening, so I think Fields gets a lot of credit for finally being able to put out the man, the nemesis that has really been a thorn in the side to Orleans so far in this game.
And what makes this offensive barrage for YD that more impressive is their 3, 4, and 5 hitters are combined 0 for 8. First pitch to Jack Wold, a fastball fouled back for strike 1. Wold, the 3-hole hitter tonight for YD. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. You can even extend that beyond just 3, 4, and 5. Look at Jeff Costello. He's 0 for 3 as well. So 3 through 6 for YD, a combined 0 for 11. 0-1 pitch. Just a fastball nubbed foul, and it's 0-2. Yet the Red Sox have scored 7 runs on 10 hits. Shows you exactly they're getting their production from the bottom third of the lineup, and Andrew Eister in that 2 spot.
Yeah, especially those bottom 3 guys, Biani, Nani, and Escala, reading a lot of the damage against the Birds.
Here's the 0-2. A fastball skied out to deep center field. Lala arranging back, feeling for the fence. Should be plenty deep for Escala to tag up. Lala makes the grab. His throw will go into third base. Escala scampers home on the sacrifice fly RBI for Jack Wold. And it's an 8-2 Red Sox lead in the 6th.
And that's perfect if you're Wold and Scott Pilker and the Red Sox able to scratch another run across. And even though you're treading out for a run, I think they'll be okay with that as they hold a 6-run cushion.
And now Riley Tarota, the third baseman, will bat for the Red Sox. And Cameron Fields is going to try and get Orleans into the dugout. Already 3 home in the frame for YD. First pitch home. Fastball misses upstairs for ball 1. Really, if you look at this ball game in just segments, it's been 2 innings that have played the Firebirds today. They gave up 4 runs on 4 hits in the third. In this frame, they've given up 3 runs on 3 hits. The 1-0, a fastball cut on and missed, and it's 1-1. And it just seems that the beginning of innings have been troubling for Orleans so far today. All 3 of those hits for the Red Sox came to lead off the frame. Haven't had a base knock since. And they're still threatening for more with Wyatt Young off of second base. The 1-1, a breaker that fools Terada, and it's 1-2. Terada's 0 for 3 today. Did come around to score in the third, reached on a fielder's choice. And struck out swinging his last time up. It's an 8-2 YD lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 1-2. Breaker bounces low, and it's 2-2. And Orleans hasn't started a season 2-0 since 2012. And that's kind of surprising when you think of Kelly Nicholson, because he leads all active Cape Cod Baseball League managers in regular season winning percentage. 2-2 pitch. Fastball misses low and inside, and the count runs full. So it's almost one of those things that history repeats itself more often than not.
just shows you might go, 0-1 or 2 or 1-1 to start the season, but with Kelly at helm, I think he'll ride the ship and we'll be okay.
Young just dancing off second base, payoff pitch, fastball rolled up the third base line and foul, and we'll do it again. And that's usually the way things have gone for Orleans squads under Kelly Nicholson. You really take out last season, Kelly's been a winner in the CCBL. They won it all back in 2005 in Nicholson's first year at the helm. He's in his 15th season managing the Birds, served 4 years as the pitching coach before that. He's compiled 337 wins. Payoff pitch, fastball misses low, the runner going. Gill wasn't ready for the throw. Avidia nailed it down, but Young takes advantage of Cam Field sleeping on the hill. So Terota draws the walk. Young steals third, and the Red Sox have runners on the corners with 2 outs.
A good awareness by Young, able to take an extra bag. And Avidia had to wait a little bit for Gill. He's playing so far off the bag that had to get there.
Now, as good as Nicholson has been in the Cape Cod Baseball League, there's been one opponent in particular that he struggled with. It's the YD Red Sox, led by Scott Pickler. He has a .387 win percentage against the Red Sox. That's the worst of any other mark of any team he's faced. First pitch to Austin Wells. Fastball skied on the third base side. Third baseman Gill ranging towards the foul line. He'll make the grab in fair territory, and the side is retired. But not before the YD Red Sox score 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors, and they leave 2 runners left on base. We're through 6 complete innings here at Red Wilson Field. It's 8-2 in favor of the Red Sox. And let's look around the Cape Cod Baseball League. Not too many other games going on tonight, Thomas. 3 other games rained out. There was rain earlier today on the Cape. There's only 1 other contest going on. It's the Anglers and the Kettleers at Lowell Park. It's Katu at 4, and the Anglers 2 in the top of the 7th inning. As we're through 6 complete here at Red Wilson, it's YD 8 and Orleans 2. We'll take a short break and be right back. Listen to Orleans Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
And welcome back inside Red Wilson Field for the top half of the 7th inning. It's a 6-run lead for the Red Sox. They lead 8-2. Again, Thomas Unzerlich alongside Josh White here on the Birds Broadcast Network. As leading things off will be Rob Emery. The 7-8-9 hitters due up for the Birds. Righty-righty matchup as coming from the stretch to start things off is Jacob Winger on for nothing to work, as that one just stays fair on the ground over towards the first baseman, Wold. He'll field himself and step on first for the first down. So 1 pitch, 1 out. That's one way to be efficient. If you're Winger, as he'll now be the left fielder out of Tennessee, Zach Daniels. Today he's 0 for 2, grounded out in the second and struck out swinging in the 4th. One of the 9 punch-out victims from Jordan Seymour. First pitch to Daniels is at the knees for strike 1. Firebirds running short on outs here. Just 8 outs remaining as Daniels off the end of the bat, able to squeeze it into right field for a base hit as it rolls all the way to Eister. As he'll scoop it and throw it back in as Daniels is on for the first time this evening in his 3rd AB, picks up his first hit of his Cape League career.
And if Orleans wants a chance in this ball game, they got to get the offense going right now here in the 7th. They're down by 6, and they've picked up plenty of hits today. They just haven't really strung them together, Thomas, only scoring 2 runs.
So now the catcher, David Avitia. Pair of strikeouts this evening. First pitch misses down in the zone for ball 1, and you're talking about collecting hits. This would be a good time to do it. Man on with 1 out. Avitia from the right side, a little bit of an open stance. Wenger working from the stretch. She kicks and deals. The 1-0 pitch is a bouncer up the first base line. In on the grass, try for the tag. Wenger throws to first now. Able to try him at first, did not get him on the tag, and quickly in action and throws towards first. But advancing towards second is Daniels. The Firebirds will have a runner on a base here, or excuse me, in scoring position with 2 down in the inning. That's been the theme tonight, I think. It's about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen that the Firebirds have by the time they get a run in scoring position, there's already 2 outs.
Yeah, it's now the 3rd time tonight that Orleans has had a runner in scoring position with 2 down, and they've been unable to bring them home, and that's really been the Birds' problem so far today.
Just the one from Tirani, and the 3rd is RBI single. First pitch to Lala is in there for strike 1, as Bignani had a hard time squeezing that one. So Daniels leads off a second, 2 down here at the top of the 7th. 8-2 Red Sox lead. Winner gets his sign, comes set at the belt. Looks back at Daniels at second. Back towards home as he fires. As off-speed pitch, Lala is out in front of that one. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Lala for 3 tonight. Pair of strikeouts.
See, it's kind of funny, Thomas, because we think Orleans hasn't picked up too many hits with 2 outs, yet they're 4 for 8 with 2 outs today.
Fastball just misses the outside edge for ball 1-2 the count, and a lot of them, I guess, haven't been extra base hits besides, Gil had the home run.
The other problem is, too, there's, let's say, 2 guys go down quickly in the inning, a hypothetical single, and then a strikeout to follow. So, I mean, it's a hit here and then an out there.
Exactly. Wenger steps off the rubber as he'll look back. Daniels at second. Daniels will once again enlarge his lead over there. Shortstop Escala behind him as the 1-2 pitch is cut out and miss, and Lala goes down swinging. And just like that, 6.5 have gone. It is an 8-2 Red Sox lead over the Orleans Firebirds. But before we go, we're going to send it down to our silent reporter, Scotty. Scotty, what do you have for us?
It's one of the best things about the Cape Cod Baseball League is some of the parents get to go out here and its dreams are coming true. I'm standing here with Michael Emery, Rob Emery's dad, Rob, catcher from San Francisco, playing first base today. And you told me that Rob grew up watching Cape Cod League baseball. How great is it to see him playing it now this summer?
It really is a dream come true. We moved to the South Shore in 2004, and somebody told me about the Cape Cod League. I'd never heard about it. And we got down to the end of the 2004 season and saw Falmouth, and we saw Dustin Pedroia. And to just see this kid, and he was just such a party starter, and he could do anything. And then all of a sudden, like, hey, that guy's on TV. It was just so great. And then, so the next year, rented a house on the Cape. Rob was a kids camper at Falmouth. And what I love about the Cape is kids can go anywhere, kids can do anything. He sat in the dugout with his players, and he really loved it. So it's a real treat for us to be here. To see him on the field, it's a dream come true.
You noted it's been a long process and a long time coming for him to reach this level. How amazing is that? And can you talk about the process of him finally making his way to the Cape Cod Baseball League?
Grind, 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 grind. First you start in Washington State, and then on to Ohio, and then up into the Northwoods League, and then to the New England Collegiate Baseball League, and you get up to Harwich for a 4-day call-up. It's like getting a cup of coffee in the pros. But he said he learned more in those 4 days up here than he'd learned, anywhere along the way, and he was really itching to get back here. And so he's very lucky that he was able to get in with Coach Kelly, and Coach Kelly's just a really terrific human being and an excellent coach. He really makes men. He's a wonderful, wonderful man. So it's just a delight that Rob's here with him. And of course, we were watching the 2005 team when Rob was a little guy, so that's also a treat to have seen that the last time that Orleans won the championship, we were here.
Well, maybe he can help them out this year. You never know.
Hopefully, sticks around. That'd be great.
Michael, thank you so much for joining us in here. Really appreciate you. Guys, back over to you.
And thank you, Scotty. Definitely cool to see a lot of the parents making their way up to the Cape. Obviously, South Shore, not a far trip away, but if you're coming from there. But it's really cool to see a lot of the parents come to the Cape, and you'll see it throughout the summer, especially since the last Summer Leagues when I was also on the hill watching the Firebirds win Cape League Championship. So, dating myself as home half of the 7th inning, the Red Sox, they lead the Firebirds 8-2. 8 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors for the Red Sox. 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Firebirds. First pitch in at the belt to Costello, the center fielder, in there for a strike one. New pitcher on the mound for the Firebirds. It is Michael Hobbs, out of the junior from St. Mary's. Pitched in 23 games back in 2018 with a start. Had 11 saves, so second most saves ever in a single season by a Gale. As he's used to the bullpen, played in the California Collegiate League last summer. Count is no balls and 2 strikes after Costello. Fouls went back. The 0-2 from Hobbs just misses the inside corner as Costello has to scoot back from the plate. Costello positions himself in the back into the batter's box on the left side. Another little bit open stance as the 1-2 is chopped in towards the hole on the right side. Scooped up by Emery. Takes himself once again. Steps on the bag for the first out. So 1 down the inning here in the bottom of the 7th. Again, still an 8-2 lead for the Red Sox. It's the catcher, Eric Bijani now. As he shimmies before he gets into the box. Readjusts his batting helmet as Hobbs works from the windup. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch from Hobbs is popped up in the air, coming behind us on the first base side. And we'll head over towards the snack shack where our sideline reporter Scotty was earlier with the donut burger. I have to say, I've had the donut burger before last year, but not a big jelly fan, so I usually don't get that one, but I think they had a Boston cream one or something last year. A 1 pitch from Hobbs is fouled off the hand of Vicia. No balls and 2 strikes is the count on Bijani. Hobbs trying to work a scoreless 7th inning here. As the sun is beginning to set here, starting to reach its lower point of the sky. Some shadows going on. Pretty much most of the infield is covered in shade. Sun still out in the outfield. Some of the outfielders wearing the sunglasses out there. Is the 0-2 pitch. It's right back up the middle to center field. Almost getting out of the way. On that one was Hobbs. Came right back at him.
Looked like it might have even ricocheted off his glove into center field. Not off the bare hand, but a little comebacker that'll wake you up if you're asleep on the hill.
So Bijani is on for the second time. His last 2 ABs have resulted in singles. So he's on first with 1 out. It brings up the DH. We mentioned the 79 hitters have really done a lot of damage against the Birds today. It's Nanny now the DH from the left side. Cut on and miss on the first pitch. Nanny so far, 2 singles and a ground out, 2 for 3 on the evening. Pops from the stretch, looks over towards first. Comes set. Kicks from the belt. That one is rolled over on the right side. Emery fields it, throws over to second, tagging first, over to second and tag, and it's in time as Zamora applies it. And just like that, a double play is work from Emery after stepping on the base, thrown over towards second, and Zamora with the tag. So just like that, the Firebirds work themselves out of an inning. Hobbs is perfect on the mound, and after 7, it's an 8-2 Red Sox lead. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. And we'll go back inside Red Wilson Field. It's an 8-2 Red Sox lead. As leading things off is Julio Marcano and of NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology in Newark, New Jersey. So Marcano just came yesterday and was activated. Takes a first pitch fastball on the outside half for ball one. So Marcano is in for A.J. Lewis, playing second. As the 1-0 pitch to Marcano is popped up and out of play behind the dugout area of Orleans. Marcano digs in towards the back end of that right-hander's batter's box, awaits the 1-1. Fastball right at the bottom part of the zone for strike two. 1-2 the count now on Marcano. Again, he takes over for Lewis, who collects hits in his first 2 games. As the 1-2 just misses, count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th. Again, 8-2 Red Sox lead. Coming set once again as the 2-2 is popped up. They're having some room over here, but that's going to find towards the bleachers on the right side once again.
Yeah, it almost came close to the donut burger over at the Snack Shack. Now, that'd be bad, man. A donut burger with a baseball in between? Not too tasty.
I have to call it not the hurler anymore, but something else. Last year this year, there actually a pop fly came right behind us, run up against the fence as 2-2 misses up. 3-2 the count. Came right behind us where we're sitting up against this fence and almost had it, but would have fallen off my chair if I tried to attempt it while sitting down.
That's the excuse.
Well, it was a little over here, to my right.
Oh,
so
okay.
The 3-2 pitch is lying down the third base line, but foul. So Marcano will have to do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Winger so far working on his 3rd inning. Only allowed 2 hits and has 2 punch-outs to go along with that and 7 batters that he has faced. The 3-2 once again, and Marcano goes down swinging as Winger picks up, dating back to last inning, back-to-back punch-outs. His 3rd on the evening. And it's now the DH out of Bentley, who so far, again, cannot be stopped. He's got 2 singles, an RBI, and a walk, so he's reached base every time he has come to the plate. First pitch he sees, he fouls it back in the screen for strike 1.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Winger on the mound. He's gone 2 1/3 so far. 21 of his 27 pitches have been strikes. He's really dominating out there and just absolutely pounding the zone and racking up the Ks.
Righty matchup as the off-speed pitch, running right on it. That one fouls it back once again behind the first base side. No balls and 2 strikes on Troyani. 1 down in the inning. Nobody on here as the Firebirds trail 8-2. Again, the hit column, not much of a difference. 0-2 pitch just misses down the zone for ball 1-1-2 is the count. The 1-2 offering as Toronto reaches out for that one, and can't quite reach it enough, and he punches out. So back-to-back strikeouts in this, sitting 3 in a row, recorded by Winger.
And just this YD pitching staff has been great so far. 13 Ks already in this ball game. They've kept Orleans off balance all day long. Credit Seymour and Winger. They've pounded the strike zone. They've racked up the Ks. They've only issued 1 free pass, and Orleans, who looked pretty good offensively last night, can't generate too much today.
First pitch just misses down and in to Kakaska. Wade's done a good job to limit. We mentioned the hits are almost equal, but Orleans just Unable to scratch across a couple more runs as Kokoska lined up on the first base line. Backhanded play by Wold, tosses it on to Winger. A defensive gem by Wold over at first base. He hasn't been doing the bat today, but takes the base hit away from Kokoska down the right side. And just like that, 7.5 have come and gone. 8-2. Red Sox lead. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Back inside Red Wilson Field here for the home half of the 8th inning. It's an 8-2 Red Sox lead. New pitcher on the mound for the Firebirds as Jared Lyons out of the U.S. Naval Academy. See a couple guys, not here make it to the Cape. Noah Song, of course, pitch for the Firebirds. Fellow midshipman of Jared Lyons. Solid takeover for Michael Holmes, who worked a scoreless 7th inning. As leading things off is Willie. Looks like we have a pinch hitter here on for YD as Willie Scott looks to have been replaced. There'll be Noah Myers out of South Carolina. The lefty will right-lefty matchup as Myers slaps one towards the Red Sox dugout. Count as quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Line stands at 6'6", 215. A lot of build on the mound as the 0-2 pitch is foul tipped into the mitt of Avicia, and just like that, Lyons picks up a punch out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So one away here in the home half of the 8th, nobody on. Again, 8-2. Red Sox lead. Top of the order comes back around as Wyatt Young, the second baseman, will dig in from the left side. Right-lefty matchup, first pitch, fastball spotted outside Black, first strike 1. Of course, a connection from Providence College, where I attend to. The U.S. Naval Academy is that the Navy baseball coach played at PC from 84 to 87, and then coached there for, I believe, 7 or 8 years after, but Providence folded their baseball team in 99 and 2000. And he's found his way down to Navy, bruised a couple of arms down there. 0-1 to Young. Excuse me, 0-2 outside corner, strike 3 call, curveball. You can hear probably Coach Kelly in the background saying, yes, sir. Lions looking sharp so far. Back-to-back strikeouts on the 2 Red Sox hitters. And it is now Andrew Eister again, just a triple shy of the cycle. as he will step in from the right side. Lions working Glucky once more. First pitch just misses down below the knees for ball 1. Nobody on, 2 outs, 8-2. Red Sox lead here in the bottom of the 8th. As the 1-0 pitch swinging out in front, way out in front was Eister.
I don't even think that bounced in front of the batter's boxes. That bounced really far in front.
That did. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. That one bounces in front once again, but Vichy able to block that one. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. That one skipping in once again. Count runs 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike the count. 2 down. The inning. Lions trying to work a quick 1-2-3 inning. Already punched out the first 2. YD Red Sox hitters the 3-1. That one is lined on the ground over towards second. Marcano scoops it up. Sidearm toss over to first base. Temery is in time. And just like that, we have a 1-2-3 inning worked by Jared Lyons. Heading into the top half, the 9th inning. Firebirds off their last cuts as they trail 8-2. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Noah Myers.
I want to go to DJ's.
And we'll go back inside Red Wilson field for the top half of the 9th inning. New pitcher on the mound out of Northeastern is David Steele. Firebirds, they trail 6 runs here. Needing 6 to tie, 7 to win. They have Zamora, Gill, and Emery due up for the Firebirds. And Zamora will dig in from the right side of the batter's box. Righty-righty matchup. Comes set from the stretch. Steele kicks and deals at the knees for strike 1. Steele hails from Manchester, Connecticut. Plays his college ball at Northeastern. 3 straight seasons as a spot starter in longman out of that bullpen. 16 of the 20 outings he made this year for the Huskies were longer than 2 innings. Quickie, no balls and 2 strikes on Zamora. Still comes set. The 0-2 from the belt. Fastball runs off the plate for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. The 1-2 pitch out in front, curveball in the dirt, and Biagiani applies the tag, and Steele picks up his first strikeout. So the first batter he faces. So with 1 out in the inning, nobody on. It's an 8-2 Red Sox lead over the Firebirds. It'll be the third baseman out of Miami, Ray Gill. He is one of the 2 runs for the Firebirds today. Home run back in the 4th, out to center. First pitch he sees bounces in, picked up by Biagiani with the glove. 1-0 is the count. And Steele gets a new baseball from home plate umpire. Still comes set, kicks and fires. Gill hits one sharply on the ground, gets past the diving second baseman Young into right field, and Ray Gill is aboard for the second time this evening. As Young again just could not get enough glove on it, got a little bit of it, but just went underneath it. As Gill is on first with 1 away here in the top of the 9th. Again, 8-2 Red Sox lead. That is the 8th hit on the evening for the Firebirds. And it's now Rob Emery, the first baseman from San Francisco. You heard from his dad earlier, along with our silent reporter, Scotty. As the first pitch check swing goes around, says the home plate umpire.
Ladies and gentlemen, hamburgers and hot dogs are now at half price. What a deal.
And hamburgers and hot dogs are at half price, so let's have to see if Scotty will go back for some more. And it looks like he just got some, but a little too late. Steele comes at the belt. Gill off first takes a look as the 0-1 has popped up and behind us on the first base side. No balls and 2 strikes is the count. Again, 1 down here in the 9th. Gill off a first after a single. No balls and 2 strikes is the count. Still looking in for the side. Long time here. Flipped through a couple times as Biagiani. The 0-2 once more. That one, curveball, skips into the dirt. Good block by Biagiani, moving the body and keeping that ball down in the dirt. Sun starts to really come down in the sky. Shane starting out towards the right field side now. Again, no lights here at Red Wilson Field, although we should finish this game in time. Unless we go to extras. 1-2 once more, spoiled off and lifted. Nice grab by a fan down behind the bleachers. Still comes set once again. Again, Gill off a first after a 1-out single. The 1-2 from Still in the dirt once again. Another good block by Biagiani, trying to get Emery to chase. Again, Emery so far, a single, reached on an error and then a ground out, although reached on an error could have easily been marked down as a hit, so. Went 2 for 3 yesterday, having a nice summer so far. First 2 games for the Birds. Still works the 2-2. Cut on and miss for strike 3. Emery goes down swinging. And Steele, both out so far in this half inning, have been by the way of the strikeout.
It's now 15 Ks. Sorry about that, Thomas. 15 Ks for YD's pitching staff, and it just shows you the domination today. They have given up 8 hits, but when they've gotten ahead, they've battled and have just left plenty of Firebirds runners stranded on base.
It's now Zach Daniels, the left fielder. It'll be up to him to prolong this game or not. Still looking to close out this game. Can preserve their 6-run lead, 8-2 here in the 9th. First pitch is Daniels is hit on the ground towards short, flipped on from Pickett to Young over at second. And it looks like that will do it here from Red Wilson Field as the Firebirds drop game 2 of the season by a score of 8-2. So the Firebirds will move to 1-1 on the season. And today is just 2 big innings where they were able to get 4 runs in the 3rd and 3 in the 6th. So 78 runs came between 2 innings for the YD Red Sox. The 2 runs driven in today were by Max Troiani, the DH in the 3rd inning, and in the 4th inning, Ray Gill added another run with the long ball. So the first 2 games of the season, we've seen a home run from Zamora yesterday, and then today, it was Ray Gill.
And he will join us here on the Birds Broadcast Network. We'll be joined by Ray audio-wise on the Birds Broadcast Network, and Scotty Gange will go enjoy that donut burger with Rob Emery and see if Emery can in fact eat the burger that quickly as the Birds once again fall to YD 8-2. The Red Sox score 8 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors, and 6 runners left on base. The Firebirds score 2 runs on 8 hits, 1 error, and they strand 6 on the base pass. The winning pitcher today is Ian Seymour. He advances to 1-0. Andrew Abbott drops to 0-1 in a game that took 2 hours and 39 minutes. As Ray Gill will make his way over to us here on the first base side. Gill, the 3rd baseman from the University of Miami, went 2 for 4 today. Hit a solo home run in the 4th inning. We'll see if we can track down Scotty Gange first, as Scotty will go try and grab Rob Emery. It seems that Scotty is trying to make his way to find Rob, and Ray's making his way over here. Again, the Firebirds fall to the Red Sox 8-2 here at Red Wilson Field. Orleans drops to 1-1. YD advances to 1-1 as they are tied in the East Division. We'll look around Cape Cod Baseball League and check out the only other game going on today. It's Chatham and Cotuit. The Anglers have come back and taken the lead from the Kettleers. They lead things 6-4 in the bottom of the 7th. So we'll wait on Scotty to see if he can get Rob Emery quick enough. If not, we'll see what's going on. So, as we wait to see Rob Emery and Ray Gill, and see if Rob Emery can in fact eat this burger in 30 seconds or less. He can do it with a cheeseburger. We'll see if he can get it done with a donut burger. We'll recap this ball game of how YD was able to take it from Orleans. It was early offense for the Red Sox. Andrew Eister, a solo home run back in that 1st inning, but Orleans got back on the board and able to tie it up on the RBI single by Max Troiani in the top half of the 3rd. Then in the home half, YD put on a pile of runs. 4 runs on 4 hits, an error, and 1 runner left on for YD in that frame. It was started by the bottom part of their lineup. Dalen Nanny and Willie Escala back-to-back singles before Wyatt Young had an RBI double. Andrew Eister followed with a run-producing single as well. Riley Terota driving in another run. So that inning clearly changed this ball game before the Red Sox tacked on 3 more in the 6th to put this game out of reach. Ray Gill had the solo shot in the top of the 4th inning. So Ray Gill will join us, the third baseman out of the University of Miami, here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Rob Emery will enjoy a delicious snack with Scotty Gage, our sideline reporter, as we will take a short break and be right back with both of those for you. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the Birds Broadcast Network as Scotty Gage has made his way over with Rob Emery after the Birds fell to YD 8-2 here at Red Wilson Field. We'll send it over to Scotty, who is talking and standing by with Rob Emery.
On our way over to the picnic tables, and Josh, before we do the challenge that we know you say you can eat a burger in under 30 seconds, we got to talk about the game. First off, 2 for 4, 2 solid hits. You had some good plays at first base. How did it feel to be back out on the ballpark, both yesterday and then today as well?
It's a day out here in the sun playing baseball, so planes there, and to get a couple bucks, that's great too.
And you spend a lot of time playing catcher, but you've been at first base. You made a great play, getting a double play. How'd that feel to make that play at first today?
Oh, it felt great. Anytime you can help your team on both sides of the ball, that's a plus. Just happy to help with the glove and play solid D over there.
So, Rob, I had one of these earlier. I think it was okay. But on Sunday, you told me a fun fact about you is you can down a double cheeseburger in less than 30 seconds. I'm upping it, giving you the donut. This is the deluxe donut. It's worldwide known here.
Yeah.
And you think you can 30 seconds?
Yeah, these patties look that shouldn't. I don't think.
They are wide. I was thinking about kind of ripping them off and helping you out, but I'm not going to help you out here.
No, that shouldn't be a problem.
All right.
Got a couple bites in a burger.
We'll get the timer ready for. All right, in 3, 2. Dude, time. It's chewing time for Rob. Guys, we're gonna get this video up on our later. We're going. It's too dry. You can't finish it.
No.
All right, we'll give you a minute then. Let's see. Rob's 3 bites in. He only has 1 more bite to go, it looks like. Can you finish all that in 1 more bite? It's gross, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I wish it was a little better. Yeah, it's not going to happen here. It's the donut burger. We might try for a double cheeseburger later. And it got him again. Guys, we're going to send it back over to you.
That was Scotty Gage with our very own Rob Emery out in right field, the first baseman from San Francisco, as the Red Sox top the Firebirds 8-2 here at Red Wilson Field. We're joined now by the third baseman from the University of Miami, Ray Gill. Ray, obviously a tough loss for you guys, but we'll start with you individually. First day in the lineup here in Orleans. You had a good day, 2 for 4, hit a solo home run back in that 4th inning. What was working for you at the dish?
Just trying to put a good swing on the ball and try to make solid contact.
When you're transitioning to a wood bat league, and obviously you played summer ball last year with the Harwich Mariners for a cup of coffee, 9 games or so, then you went to the Valley Baseball League. What's the transition like when you're going from aluminum to wood?
I mean, personally, I don't think there's a big difference. I mean, wood's a little bit more heavier, and obviously you can break the wood, so I think that's just the only 2 things that make a difference. Other than that, it's the same. It's a bat, so still got to swing it.
Obviously a big jump for you in terms of your play at Miami from your freshman to sophomore season. What were some of the biggest strides you think you took personally from that first year to your second summer?
My mentality changed completely, and And I think that's the biggest thing for me is the mental side. I mean, I've always been a good player, had the tools, and could play. It was just the mental side, and I think that's the big difference for me.
You talk about the mental side of how you kind of matured throughout your first 2 seasons at Miami. The Firebirds obviously had a big-time win on opening night, 2-0. They fall 8-2 today to YD. What's the mentality like tomorrow heading over to Brewster?
Well, nothing changes. You know, we come out here, we try to play our game, you know, compete each pitch, each inning, and try to get a dub. It didn't change from yesterday to today, just today's baseball, and they got more hits than we did and hit the ball better with runners in scoring position. So hats off to them, but bounce back tomorrow.
Ray, thanks for the time, and good luck tomorrow.
Appreciate it, Josh.
That was third baseman Raymond Gill from the University of Miami after going 2 for 4 with a home run as the Birds fall to the Red Sox 8-2 here at Red Wilson Field as Orleans falls to 1-1 on the season. Currently tied with the YD Red Sox in the East Division. The Chatham Anglers currently leading the Catuit Kettleers 6-4 in the bottom of the 7th. If the Anglers hold on, they will be atop the East. In first place at 2-0. That game, just as we speak, tied up 6-6 in the top of the 8th. We'll keep that one tuned with you and talk to you tomorrow about how the scores finished out today. So for the final time here from Red Wilson Field, it's YD 8, Orleans 2. For our producer, Bryce Johnson, my broadcast partner, Thomas Zinzarella, our sideline reporter, Scotty Gange, I'm Josh White, saying so long and good night here from South Yarmouth. We'll talk to you tomorrow in Brewster. This has been Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.